The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
What?
let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers,
You pig!
damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Sport!
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Phenom Tuesday, February 13th, 2024. This sports program starts now. Sports! Big day.
Huge.
We transition from football being the word that is yelled as this show starts to sports being the word that is yelled whenever this show starts. And it's not because we're not going to talk about football. No, actually the complete opposite. We got Patrick Mahomes joining us in the second hour, 1:30 Eastern, whatever the time is off of that in your world. We'll have Super Bowl champion, two-time MVP, Patrick Mahomes joining us, fresh off what seemed to be quite a runaway.
Yeah.
I saw him at Disneyland yesterday, did a couple interviews. Looked like he maybe had a good time with the boys in Vegas after winning the Super Bowl, as he should. And we'll get a chance to chit-chat with him, I think, for the first time on this program.
Yeah.
Now, he did drop his head into the screen, if you do recall, whenever Travis was on. He did one of these.
Yep.
How you doing? Remember he did that
Yeah. Mhm.
about a week ago. Now he'll be joining us. I cannot wait for that. Jeff Saturday will be joining us in about 9 minutes or so because we're in Combine Draft. Who's going to win next year's season? What is Jeff hot on? What does Jeff hate? What does Jeff love? Is Jeff going to get back into coaching?
Ooh.
There's no spots opened up. Bill Belichick couldn't even get a job.
Yikes.
Speaking of Bill Belichick, what does his future look like? We will talk about that.
Interesting.
Yes is the answer. Okay? For all the people out there, Axelrod and the boys, know that I am trying my best to get Bill Belichick on this program at least once a week going forward.
Hell yeah.
Okay, just at least once a week going forward in the football season. Could you imagine us peppering Bill Belichick every single week throughout an entire football season? That's if he wants to get into the media world and if he would want to be on our particular program. There's a chance he says no way. Now, I did see him with a helmet on whenever we did College Game Day up in Massachusetts, up in Foxborough. He was fantastic. We got a chance to talk a little shit to each other. That was fun. Hopefully he has a little bit of respect for what we've been able to do out here in Indianapolis. But having a chance to pick that brain through an entire football season would be a dream come true. Know that I am throwing my hat into the ring in a big way. And then PK Subban will join us.
Ooh. Whoa, okay.
Yeah, we'll talk a little hockey. Now, the talks table is here. Looks a little different today.
A little bit.
You know? A little bit different today.
Well, it does have
In a way.
sweatpants and slippers on or slides on, so it kind of dressed the part.
That man with the cowboy hat, one half of the hammer, Dahn, Cowboys Tone Diggs. Yeah, worst outfit of the year as he joins the toxic table. Ladies and gentlemen, at Boston Connor and Darius J. Butler. Boys.
Boy, D-Butt. Hey. Yeah, welcome. I mean, Pat just said it, the worst outfit of the year, and this is what you bring to the table. You've been looking great for 3 straight weeks wearing all these cool.
3 straight weeks. He's been looking great for 22 straight weeks.
Yeah. 6 straight months, yeah.
We got flip-flops on, okay, yellow, green ones on. We got sweats that don't match. So, I mean, he said, I'm on the toxic table. I got to dress the part. I appreciate
First time
that.
here.
I appreciate
All in,
that.
baby.
I appreciate that,
here.
D-Butch. Ty Schmidt, he is all good. He took a trip. I think he didn't know which week we were taking off. I think that is the truth of the situation because he booked it so far in advance. Yeah. Probably my fault for not giving him enough of a heads up. We want to let Ty know. We'll miss you, bud. We'll miss you, Ty Schmidt. We will see him after the break. Now, I will say the NFL is up and to the right.
Yeah.
Whenever you think something can't be up and to the right anymore, and when the internet has conspiracies cooking on why it is up and to the right, ain't that right, Bubba Gumpino's joining us?
All the way up to the right, boys.
Yeah, you know why? It's because everything is scripted and it's all fake and everybody's not going to watch. Remember, that was a trend whenever it was announced and found out that the Chiefs were going to represent the AFC and the Niners were going to represent the NFC. There's people on the internet who pout Okay, about everything.
Of course.
Always pot.
Complainers.
Wow.
If you, a lot of that. Boo-hoos.
I don't think any of them mean it. I genuinely don't. Because when you're out and about, do you run into any of these people at all? No. Whenever they say we're gonna protest watching the Super Bowl, and then the numbers come out, and it's like, actually, over 200 million people watch the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
This is the biggest Super Bowl in the history of Super Bowls. This is the most watched TV program of all time.
Yep.
Now, in comparison, 120 million average is what CBS is reporting it had throughout the duration of that entire game, peaking or having over 200 million people watching it as a whole. What a phenomenal ending to the NFL season. But there's people saying they weren't going to watch.
I'm sure they didn't.
You remember there's people saying they're not
No,
going
I can't watch this.
In comparison, the World Cup had
1.5 billion.
1.5 billion people watch.
2022, 2018 was like 600 million.
So, I mean, there's a lot of room to grow. And that is certainly where Roger Goodell's trying to do in a global expansion part. But they're saying that $650 million was made by CBS off of ad revenue. Remember, $7 million a pop for the 30-second ads and everything else that's happening inside of the game. So the NFL is up and to the right more than it's ever been. The game is growing in a big way. The Combine's in 2 weeks, and I assume the networks are going to report that ratings are up. How is everything up and to the right, seemingly, Boston Connor?
I mean, personally, I think it's just because of how good the NFL is. Like, think about the whole entire conversation about the old guard. A few years ago, Brady's going to be gone. Ben's going to be gone. Philip Rivers, all those guys, they're going to be gone. And now this new era is just ridiculously good. I mean, they were talking about the active quarterbacks now who have Super Bowls. It's Russell Wilson, Matt Stafford, Mahomes, obviously, and Aaron Rodgers. So, like, this new era that is now in the NFL, all of them are so good at football. Like, the Josh Allens, the Lamar Jacksons, in the last 20 years, there's been a couple of those guys. I mean, Lamar, you can say Mike Vick, and aside from that, there's no one else that's even close to what Lamar does. Mahomes, obviously, there's no one that's done what he has done to the extent that he's done it. Obviously, Brady has the Super Bowls, but the league is just so good and so young, and these guys come in right away, and they're filthy. I mean, we were talking about C.J. Stroud before the show and how great he is. I mean, talk about a face of the league type guy. Like, everything he does is perfect.
Sweet.
Awesome. Yeah.
Everything he does is sweet.
And Mahomes is the same way. And Mahomes is winning Super Bowls at the same time. So, like, how could it not be up until
Well, and Josh Allen. I mean, we haven't even really dove into him potentially having his greatness run that we all expect out of Josh Allen being the prototype. And you think about that entire AFC side. Anthony Richardson is obviously going to go up and to the right for the Indianapolis Colts.
Trevor.
But as the team, I mean, Roger Goodell's got to be sitting in his, we assume, marble chair. Right, we assume at this point.
We saw
that big leather one,
old,
big brown leather
stupid
one.
chair in his basement that hasn't been redone since 1985.
No, but he puts that on top of a marble.
Oh, okay.
I think it was old dusty carpet last time we saw his basement.
Yeah, but they put the carpet over top.
He could definitely afford marble.
Yeah, it shipped in from Italy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Marble on top of that thing, on top of the ivory tower that he's sitting in New York. Like, all these things as he's sitting on a throne like this with the other 31 billionaires that are around them. They have to think, we're the kings.
Oh, yeah.
They have to think that with how young the league is, and how exciting the league is, and how the game is growing, not only here, but internationally as well. They're having a game in Brazil next year to kick off the entire NFL season. And I know soccer, which we just referenced there, having 1.5 billion people watch its World Cup final, was United States MLS superstar Lionel Messi put on an absolute show. But it's like they probably view as football just in its early stages of growth in this entire thing, D-Bud. What a time to be covering the NFL.
What a time. NFL is still king. You mentioned all this young talent, all these great quarterbacks, teams. I think the odds for the Super Bowl next year came out. Chiefs aren't there, but like who else is going to win one in this Patrick Mahomes era? Remember MJ, 6 for 6. Yeah. Back-to-back three-peats Mahomes now has a chance to go, I think, the first time ever or in the Super Bowl era to go a three-peat. So I know that's what they're locked in on now. Like, who can you project out to say, you know what, he might get one?
Patrick Mahomes also the first NFLer to be in the record books. I learned this on First Take this morning. They put a graphic up, and it was pretty good. First NFL player, whenever you combine all the Power 4 leagues, in his first 7 seasons, even though he's only played 6 of them, to have 3 world championships and 2 MVPs. He's the first NFL guy to ever do that.
Yep.
There's been a couple NBA people that have done that. There's been a couple MLB people that have done that. There's been a couple, I think, NHL.
I think there's one NHL for the Canadians.
And he's the first ever football guy that's ever been on there because of the parody, obviously, and you're supposed to take some time whenever you get into into the NFL to have success. This dude's only 28 years old. And to your point, Darius, we're having a conversation earlier in the think tank.
Yeah, we were.
Okay? And I'm pumped for Anthony Richardson.
Should be.
Should be.
I am pumped for Anthony Richardson.
I would be too.
I legit,
sure.
after watching him live, I am pumped for Anthony Richardson.
Yes.
Have no idea what he's going to be like. Fourth quarter, meaningful game, everything on the line.
Mm-hmm.
Is he going to be a guy or not? That is an actual question. I assume he's going to be, but that is still a question with how this whole season went. We didn't really see anything. Remember that 2-point play that he had in college? So it's like probably has the it factor, but we're talking, 50 million people watching AFC Championship game. Is he a guy or not? We started talking earlier. It's like if he's not, and it takes him some time, it's like we're staring down a world where Patrick Mahomes is representing the AFC. You watch that game on Sunday. He had to have a game-tying drive that was only stopped by the clock. And then he had to have a game-winning drive in the same game with 202 million people watching, and it's like not a problem. We all completely understood it's going to take place. How many other killers are out there in the NFL? Like, this is what it was like whenever Tom Brady was with the Patriots. And obviously they only won 6 out of 20 years. It was like, yeah, but how many were they in? And how many other AFC people were? It's we're potentially staring down the next killer that we have in the NFL, and that sucks for everybody else.
It's crazy.
That sucks for everybody. I think Anthony Richardson's a killer.
Sure.
Absolute killer. And we'll talk to we won't talk to Harrison Butker, just put on, obviously, a historic year. He's going to be in the conversation of being a great of all time whenever it's all said and done, especially with the kicks that he's had. He has Adam Vinatieri, Super Bowl kick moments in his resume already, so he's phenomenal. But it's like, this sucks thinking about for any other team's fan base.
It was a sad conversation that we were having because, you said love Anthony Richardson, but is he going to beat Patrick Mahomes? Probably not. And Gumpy said,
whoa, we don't know. You said probably not. Not me. Don't put words in my mouth.
I'm the only optimistic one. And then you asked Gumpy, and Gumpy's like, yeah, we're never winning one. And I was...
He's 28 years old. Like, we're staring down another decade. Of
12 years, probably.
That's what
legitimately. Look at when Brady played, too. Like, we are staring down Mahomes for at least another 10 years.
Sucks,
if not
dude.
more.
We just bought season tickets for a decade.
Connor's in the best
Anthony Richardson's going to be a guy. Anthony Richardson's going to be a guy, okay? He's going to be a guy.
For sure.
But this sucks.
Yeah.
It's just
joining us now. Yeah, I know. There's Joe Burrow.
Chris Jones.
Burrow was trending.
CJ Stroud is in the division.
Burrow was
Trevor
trending yesterday
Lawrence.
because they said he is the only one that can do it.
Joining us now is a man who might have the answers to all of our worries here. Maybe he'll be able to settle us down.
I hope.
This guy's been a head coach in the NFL before.
Exactly.
This guy's in the Ring of Honor for the Indianapolis Colts. This guy's former teammate of mine, probable future president of the United States of America.
I hope.
Ladies and gentlemen, the skinny Jeff Saturday.
Yeah.
What's up, Jeff?
How y'all doing?
Do you hear us talking right now? And obviously, I caught the tail end of it. You were in the middle of the Tom Brady New England Patriots run, especially with the Colts in the Patriots thing. And obviously, you guys won one. Let's go. Hey, let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go. You got one. But if you're a fan of another team in this current era right now, especially in the AFC, it's like the big bad wolf is here again. We thought it left whenever Tom Brady went down to the Buccaneers, and it's like, well, just wait. There's a brand new one. Younger, stronger, better than anybody in the history of football. Is that how we should feel, or is this like there's a chance that this is the last Super Bowl we've seen the Chiefs win, Jeff?
No, it's not going to be the last.
That's the prize we're talking about. We're in trouble.
I'm with you. Here's the bottom line of it all is you hope that where Andy Reid is in his career, that he decides maybe to ride off in the sunset a little earlier and then things kind of shake up a little bit, right? It's like, who's next? Who's coming in? And as good as Mahomes is, can he keep that thing going on the same, in the same direction without the Reid? That's the hope of hopes. But to your point, everybody else right now, when you're talking about Patrick Mahomes, don't even compare contemporaries. Everything now is like, where does he fit in all of sports?
History.
Not even in the NFL. Yeah, it's historic, right? It's like this. We don't talk about the NFL. We're talking about baseball and basketball and hockey and all the. How does he compare? The dude is just. And what he's done and accomplished in 6 years is unheralded. It is historic. It is a ton of fun to watch. But you're 100% right, man. Being a fan of the Colts, the organization, Anthony Richardson, Shane, like the whole deal, bro. Let's go freaking win. It's a large bump in the road that we have to somehow navigate to get where we want to get.
Yeah, it feels like it's a moat But hey, you can build a bridge.
It's a better description.
You can build a bridge. You can build a bridge
Learn to
over
swim.
that mode. And we don't know about Anthony Richardson. Obviously, we only got a chance to see him like 4 games, but we hope so. But every team in the AFC has to be thinking that. Like, let alone win a Super Bowl. Like, can we get to a Super Bowl with what these teams are? I think there's more hope and optimism than ever before. But then you watch Patrick Mahomes do what he did on Sunday, and it's like, should that optimism be? Should that? Should we have it?
Nope.
I don't think so either.
No,
I don't think so either.
you lose Tyreek Hill, and you're like best receiver in the NFL. You go 2-0, win 2 Super Bowls. You lose Tyrann Mathieu when he was there. He was that team's MVP. He moves on. You bring in Justin Reed. You got Chris Jones. I think they should keep him. Probably one of the best interior defensive linemen of his generation. Travis Kelce, obviously, probably 1 or 2, 3 more years.
And he's only going to get younger. He's hanging out with Taylor off.
Exactly. So you know, who knows what they got going on there. But Andy Reid, Spags, Veach has done an incredible job. Like it's.
Speaking of Andy Reid, you mentioned Andy Reid maybe sailing off into the sunset. Here's what he had to say in the day after press conference about everybody asking him about retirement.
I honestly haven't even thought about it, but I get asked it. People keep asking me, and I keep saying, "Why did Belichick and Pete retire?" You know, those guys. They ask those old guys a question, but I'm the old guy now. So I guess I'm going to be asked that.
Great answer. I love it. Belichick's still trying to coach, just couldn't get a job. Pete Carroll's still trying to coach, just couldn't get a job or whatever. And I think that's who Andy Reid is football guy. We got to hope that some hamburger or cheeseburger comes along.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
That's too good.
Little nuggies that he ventures off into. You know what I mean?
Just like Saban did, right? We had a conversation with Saban. He was down on the beach in Florida. And then, 3-4 days later, it was like, Saban's retiring.
Yeah, I'm done.
It's like, what did he catch a good wave? Did they get that new house? Got a good view? Is there new food? What was it that drew him away? You know, and is that going to happen to Bill? We shall see. Hey, let's talk about the football game on Sunday. And I saw you have to answer a bunch of these questions. And I think it was set for us to potentially talk about in the first take questions. So I assume that you've thought about it a little bit. They're like, is this Brock Purdy or Kyle Shanahan? And is Kyle Shanahan ever going to be able to get over the hump? I think we're all alarmed that the Niners didn't know the overtime rules. I think that was the biggest takeaway from that entire thing. Does that change the way you view Coach Shanahan because of the way that's gone? Because that's kind of how the narrative is starting to cook. What the hell? You okay? Something just went down there.
Yeah,
but like,
we got a blizzard. We got snow falling off. All kinds of things.
Be safe over there,
here.
Georgia boy. Be safe over there. But like with that whole overtime situation, do you view that? Do you view Shanahan differently, or what do you think about his whole legacy now that we're talking about it?
I don't. Listen, I put Shanahan, to me, I'm old enough to remember when Andy Reid was, Shanahan, right? Like he made a bunch of, quote, blunders in big games. He couldn't win the big game in Philly, right? He was always getting his team close, but they could never close it out. Along comes Patrick Mahomes, and the combination of these two now have put him in probably a top 5 of all time, if not higher, NFL coach. Shanahan is the same to me. I mean, this guy, listen, he knows ball. The guy can coach. I mean, he coaches his tail off, right? He has gotten Jimmy Garoppolo to the Super Bowl. He has gotten Brock Purdy to the Super Bowl. He's gotten Matt Ryan to the Super Bowl. So the guy understands X's and O's and how to put people in places to win and get there. That doesn't go away from me because he makes an error of, hey, should we get the ball? The only thing I didn't like about the call, and I know now, revisionist history, we're all going to go, everybody would have done the same way. But I called guys that night who were analytical guys, and they were like, listen, a lot of people said to do exactly what he said and do it his way. The issue I had was
Patrick Mahomes.
When you got down to the 9-yard line and it's second, third, and fourth down, I would have done it. I'm going for the end zone. That would have been my only difference. Just run it on third down instead of leading into where Chris Jones comes unblocked, as opposed to kicking the field goal. Because if you don't get it, they still have to kick a field goal, which is the same thing. It's a 50. They got to drive the ball 60 yards because they're backed up. Given Patrick Mahomes 2 downs, so that's my Shanahan thing. That's not the great, but he didn't fumble the ball in the red zone like McCaffrey. He didn't deal with the punt that goes off the guy's foot. He didn't kick the ball low on the extra point that probably finishes the game out. I mean, this thing could have went a lot of different ways, and the Chiefs know that, and they know that. So is he perfect? Absolutely not. But is he still, one of the greatest coaches we have in the NFL? Absolutely. And the Purdy relationship, this guy has taken more flack. It's just nonsense. I mean, this kid has done – it's crazy. Like, this dude has done nothing but play good football. And the problem is, again, like everybody else, is we want to compare he and Patrick Mahomes. which there is no comparison. But he's played in an NFC Championship game twice now. One he gets hurt, one he wins. He played in the Super Bowl and walked off the field with the lead. I mean, I'm not sure what else we're going to ask a guy to do than that. So from my perspective, I'm in on Purdy. I think he's a top. To me, he's a top 7-ish or 5-ish, quarterback, depending on what you're looking
Jeff.
for.
ESPN. I want you to listen. No, I'm joking. I understand what you're saying. No, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Top quarter, whatever, top quarter of the league. Hey, top 10,
Right.
top 5, top 7. And he's only in his second year, so I think that's why it's difficult to rank him, because we legitimately have no idea what the hell is happening. And you talk about the Patrick Mahomes comparisons. It's like 5 years from now, let's see. Where Brock Purdy's at. In his 7th year, because he's already going back-to-back NFC Championship games. Are they going to be able to keep that team together? We shall see. Shanahan's going to want to get over the hump at some point. So if they make it in the next 5 years, we might be watching their dynasty be built.
That's right.
But boy, in Kansas City, and that's what you said, you talked to the analytical people that night about, kicking off or taking the ball. It's like, I think analytically it's tough to factor in the fact that there's Patrick Mahomes on the other side. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you think that's getting to the third possession? That's why they're saying you take the ball. So if it gets to the third possession, you have an advantage, yada, yada, yada. It's like, okay, the rule changed because that guy on the other side right over there, did not allow it to get to another possession.
But let me ask you this, let me ask you this, D. Like, if you're the defense, you've given up 19 points. You know what I mean? Like that's a pretty good day. Like it's not like they were just. I mean, the last drive he definitely moved it down. Like you said, they ran out of time. But man, they played some pretty good ball. It's almost like he kind of trusted. Hey, we're gonna hold up for the field goal. My defense has played well. Again, would I have done it? Probably not. But is it egregious? I don't think.
Agreed.
It is.
I agree completely. I think there's a lot. You said you take the ball.
Yeah, I mean, you Kyle Shanahan, you're the head coach, you're an offensive guy. Give me the ball. My defense just gave up that drive.
So in college and overtime, do you want to be on offense first or second?
I'm going to defense first.
Okay, what if it's an offensive play call?
Patrick Mahomes just drove the ball the length of the field pretty much, kicked the field goal. Defense, let them get their time to adjust. Once again, I take the ball first. I'm an offensive guy. This is why I wear this hat. I'm the greatest offensive mind in football right now. Let me get my guys the ball, drive down, get a score, and then I'm going to trust my defense to hold up.
To win the game.
To win the game.
Yeah, I got you.
But I mean,
it's a lot easier, I think, whenever you know you're going for it on fourth down. Like, Patrick Mahomes went for it on fourth down a couple times during that overtime drive, or at least once, I think.
Yep.
And it's like they knew they had to go for it there because they knew exactly what they had to do on the other side. It's almost like the college one. The third possession, I don't know. Players got to execute. You score a touchdown there, who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
That is.
Got to execute.
There's not even a conversation about it all. But it is a fascinating new little wrinkle, that strategy, and to kind of put a bow on this entire thing. I think Chris Jones or Drew Tranquill, or both of them, said that Andy Reid had like full meetings about what we're going to do.
Yes.
If this goes to overtime, this is how we're going to handle it. We're going to go for 2. Like, it was a full-on thing. And then you hear like a guy from Harvard who's on the Niners be like, oh, I didn't know that was a rule. It's like, well,
wow.
Andy Reid had full meetings, and that's like one thing they'll hold against Shanahan until he wins, which we all think he certainly will. Conman's got a question for you, Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff, no matter what, when you're a fan of a football team and your team loses, people are going to bitch and moan about the refereeing, let alone in the Super Bowl. And obviously there's been a conversation around the offensive line of the Chiefs holding, Bosa and Chase Young, Fred Warner, and it was happening on both sides. But either way, the Chiefs have now played 3 Super Bowls, and there have been 0 holding calls on the Chiefs. What is the likelihood of that happening as an offensive lineman? And do you think there is some sort of problem there, or you kind of have to let the boys play in the Super Bowl is how we all feel?
I think you should definitely let them play. I'm 100% with you. I thought it was ticky-tack on Trent Williams when Purdy broke the pocket and Trent had just gotten an offsides, but the left tackle for the 49ers, had the end, and the end kind of tried to like get away and made like this big spectacle. And they got the call, and then it didn't go the other. So, did it cost them the game? No, but I think you let them play. I'm all for that. I did not like that call, like against Trent Williams at that moment, because again, I do think you let them play, and it wasn't really. The guy's not going to make the play. Purdy threw it back. It was the one he threw back to Kittle. It cost me money in a bet too, so that's the other reason it kind of pissed me off.
Whoa! Journalism! Journalism!
You know what I mean? So a couple things kind of stung a little bit right there. But I think Listen, man, you got to let guys play. It can't be every play is a hold of some sort. Offense, defense, defensive backfield. I mean, so let's see what I thought they refereed it actually pretty well.
So Gene Steratore told us on Thursday, I think, or Friday before the Super Bowl. He basically said to Vinovich's crew, we're looking for whales, not minnows. Mm-hmm. He said, whales, not minnows. That's kind of been the story of the entire playoffs. I love it. Like, let's keep doing that. Yeah. Way to go, refs.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Because, you start talking to Gene Steratore, and that guy loves officiating, Jeff. Oh, yeah. He loves it. Dad reffed, brother reffed, he reffed everything. He starts breaking it down about how, Patty, some of these refs in their mind, they think, I got to watch for a hold. So they're going into a play thinking there's a hold coming at some point. Boom, they're more likely to throw that thing. What we need to do is just let the play happen, and if it's egregious, then we call it. It's like, yes, Gene. And it felt like that is how the playoffs have been. If that's what we are going forward, I think they fix the officiating. Because all anybody wants is them to be out of the game, not decide it, and to be consistent. So it's like, if you're going to let the boys play a little bit for 4 quarters, as opposed to letting boys play for 3 quarters and then in the fourth quarter calling things, it's like, that's all anybody wants. That might be the answer, Jeff. That legitimately might be the answer.
100% is the answer. Listen, we all played this game. We understand there's things that happen that are egregious, right? And you got to call them. And hey, you tip your cap. Hey, the guy got me. I was hoping I didn't get caught. I did. But to your point, the minnows, man, you got to let them ride, especially in big games, man. Don't decide games with a yellow flag. I think that's what we're all getting away from. And I was very appreciative. Like I said, I thought they did a good job.
And if everybody knows that going into the season, DBs know that, wide receivers know that, tackles know that, defensive end zone. If everybody knows that going into the season, like, hey, here's how it's going to be called, then it's a fair playing field for everybody. Right. It's just like whenever one crew calls something ticky-tack and then the next crew calls nothing, it's like now there's a whole problem. Yeah. And this guy could be an all-pro one week and then the worst guy in the league the next week. Like, let's get it figured out, especially with all the scripting talk. D-But's got a question for you, Jeff.
The tackles love it. Pass rushers absolutely hate it. I know Mike was talking about it earlier this year as well. But we talk about a lot about getting over it.
when Micah talks, by the way.
He's been talking.
He's elected.
Hey, when he talks, everybody hears it.
Playing in the game on Friday.
He's going to be in any Celebrity All-Star game. Puka Nacua officially in the Celebrity All-Star game on Friday. Let's go, Oos.
Let's go.
Let's go, Oos.
But Jeff, let me ask you about getting over the hump. Obviously, you had some experience with that, but now Kyle Shanahan 0-2 now against Patrick Mahomes in Super Bowls. Josh Allen, Buffalo Bills, seems like they always lose to him. I know when you guys were in Indy on your great run, it was that big bad wolf up in New England. What was it for you guys that got you guys over the hump with 18?
Yeah, I think accountability for what we could control, So we lost to them in the AFC Championship game a couple of years before up in New England, and it was the game where they're like getting all after our receivers. I don't think we had punted in the playoffs before we went up there, and they beat us up pretty good. And I remember coming back from that and having the conversation of, we have to be more physical. Like if we're gonna be a team that wants to go compete in January and in February, at some point it's going to be take the pressure off of those guys that play on the outside and let's handle our business on the inside. And so if you look at our Super Bowl runs, even the one that we went and lost, we were a much more physical team. And really, if you look at Kansas City, that's what they do. They play basketball September, October. But as the season progresses, they get the playoffs. Andy Reid is much more apt to call runs and that Pacheco kind of get physical because he understands it's going to have to pay dividends in playoff time. I think that's what we came to the realization of is you can't be out there winging it around every week. Y'all are too good on the back end, but like y'all are too smart. There's too many creative blitzes. There's too many things that you can't go over in film. Yeah, it's just tough, man. I mean, so you know what you can do? You can go shove it down the throat and let's go make it happen, right? Like that's what you can't check out of calls if you're on defense doing that way. I think that's what teams got to realize.
Hey, Edgerrin James.
That's right.
Yeah, you and Peyton get into it. Run the damn ball. Spin on himself. Big Tarek Glenn, by the way, in the Ring of Honor.
Hell yeah.
Yes, sir.
Edgerrin James, Dahn Rhodes, Joseph Adai. I mean, they really in those Super Bowls as well. Huge games.
Yes.
Huge
games. Yeah, the game that we beat the Bears, I think we ran the ball for 191 yards against their defense, and their defense was legit. And I know both Adai led the team in
Edge wasn't on
receiving
the team,
and yards. No, he had just
Joe.
left.
Yep.
It was Joe.
Yeah, Adai and Dami Rhodes. And I think Dami had like 120 yards rush. Like we got after that team and pouring down rain. But again, how hard is it going to be if you got to throw 60 throws in that weather as opposed to being able to control some offense? I just think it's again, Andy Reid kind of mapped it out and shows you how to do it with with Mahomes. Teams got, but that's how we got over the hump, D. But we just realized, hey, man, at some point, and then honestly, as we played them more often, we got the better of them. Like they got the better of us early in my career, but after we got that, we kind of got the better of that matchup.
So, I mean, Connor, who's a Patriots fan, is disgusted with what you just said.
I
was there.
lies, but
I was there for a big win. But later in the season, too, you talk about running the ball, controlling the game. It's like you're probably going to be playing against a good offense on the other side. You run the ball, you keep them off the field as well, which is fantastic. All right, I know you got to go do a radio hit, Jeff. We appreciate you adding to your incredibly busy day by joining us. You're the man, pal.
Appreciate you, fellas. Y'all have a great one, man. Great seeing y'all.
Hey, what weight are we at? Where are we going?
Oh, about 248, trying to get down to about 238 in a month or so. So working my way down slow and steady.
Are you using any science?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I carnivored it up for the first 31 days. Did dry January, locked in pretty good. I'm going to take a little break right now, and then I'm going to go back on it.
You're talking food science. I'm talking lab science.
Yeah,
because that stuff's out there. Just something.
Oh no, yeah, none of that yet. None of that. I'm still. I have to get the download from you to know what I should be doing.
Whoa.
Think about it, Jeff.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Saturday.
Coach.
Scientists are pretty phenomenal.
They know what they're doing.
If you're an adult.
Some of them.
Yeah. I mean, who knows what's happening on the back end of it all.
Yeah, exactly.
But
probably take a year
find
out of your
out.
life.
I'm not 400 pounds right now. That's good news.
Boom.
I feel a lot better right now. That's
Yeah.
good news.
Sign me up for that.
Hell yeah. Sign me up for that every single year.
Exactly.
Also, how about Jeff Saturday just signing up to be a head coach last year? That happened.
And awesome.
sweet.
That was awesome days for us.
Do you
Not
remember
so
that?
much.
That was so much fun.
That was maybe the greatest breaking news out of nowhere of all time.
Yeah.
I was so
That
frustrated.
was literally out of nowhere.
I mean, remember when you were calling the poop Las Vegas Bowl and
Yeah.
they were playing the Vikings and the Vikings were up 33-0?
Remember?
That entire
Yeah.
couple days, how fun that
No,
was.
the Colts were up
Everybody.
33-0.
Excuse me.
They
And
lost.
Saturday.
The group chat was awesome that day.
Was it?
That
Good run.
was one of my favorite
that game
football
you were
days.
calling was electric, though. It was very close.
Yeah, Oregon
Oregon
State
State
beat
and-
Florida by
yeah.
50.
Field goal, yeah.
It's like Oregon State's greatest team in the history of their school.
Obviously, I remember getting a chance to call a game next to Kirk Herbstreit.
How could you not?
What a dream.
Boom.
I do remember going into that game thinking to myself, we're the kings of the castle.
Yeah.
Jeff Saturday's the smartest guy of all time. We are dog walking this Minnesota Vikings team. I think I'm talking shit to people that are there that
should
are
be.
Minnesota Vikings
Had
fans.
to have been.
Hey, what's the score? I think I did that a couple times. And they're like 20-something. What's this? 30? Okay. What's that? When is it? Halftime. Let's stop worrying about that game.
Game's over.
We got an opportunity to work with Kirk Herbstreit here. I'll watch the highlights in the second half if anything happens. I assume third stringers are coming in there.
Probably.
And all of a sudden, my phone's sitting on the thing, and just starts. Brrr, 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 and I look at it, first commercial break, and it's oh no, Connor going, oh no. And I think the oh no train went in there.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then there was just a highlight of Dalvin Cook doing what he's doing, and that place going crazy. And it's like, and then all of a sudden a tweet comes in, largest comeback in the history of the NFL. I'm like, what the hell just happened to the Indianapolis Colts? And I don't want that to be the only thing Jeff Saturday's remembered for.
No, he's not.
As a head coach.
He turned that program around.
Started off 1-0.
As a head
One and
coach.
oh. Always have that first game.
You're damn right. Beat the Raiders.
Yeah.
He lifted them out of the casket and started the turnaround for, kind of what was going on in that locker room. He put the building blocks for what Steichen came in and did this year. Jeff Saturday laid that brick.
Yeah,
okay?
Right.
the building itself, I don't know how it got to the point that it got to,
Bingo.
but I think we're in a place where it's going to get going good. And CJ Stroud's still in the division.
Yeah. And also, not to be the bearer of bad news, but the only thing that is going to be remembered from Jeff Saturday's tenure is, in fact, the 33-0 game.
No.
I'm
No,
sorry.
come on.
I'm sorry, but in 20
No,
years
we
from
moved
now,
past it.
they're not talking about the Colts beating the Raiders in his first
No, it'll
game.
be a trivia question. It'll be who blew the loop. Yeah, it will be. Yeah, that will be what it is.
Yeah, that'll be a different.
No.
There's some other game will come along.
It'll also be about when people were really upset that he got hired to be the coach, too.
That's
Remember
what
how
I'm talking
mad-
about.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got into it with Bill Carr
Yep.
publicly.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, because I go back. It's my friend.
Yeah.
That's my former teammate.
Have to.
It's the Indianapolis Colts.
We love Bill.
Who do you want him to hire? Okay, who is this team stinks? We didn't even get a first down in the first half.
Players are betting against the old or betting on the team.
We don't
know.
Betting on the team. Not
It has
against.
I
not
heard it
come
was
out.
on the team.
Did you hear that for real?
I thought he sat
Oh,
down.
yeah.
There
He
was
sat
two
down
different
recently, and
stories that
he
came
bet
out.
on Jonathan Taylor's like over or something.
Yeah,
like
he
that.
put like $1,000 on Jonathan Taylor over in one of the games.
Good teammate.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like an
Believes in his
E60
God.
sit down.
Just real quick, though, that news should have been released immediately upon if finding out that he was betting on Colts games.
Yep.
Because there was a thought, because there was no information coming out, that he maybe bet against the Colts. And that was the type of culture that we thought was maybe happening inside the Indianapolis Colts building whenever everybody was upset about who and how was going on. It's like, we got a lot bigger problems than he's coaching, and if players are betting against the team that they are on whenever they're behind closed doors. So he was betting for the team?
That's what the report
Let's
said.
go, dude. Okay, let's go Colts. Holy hell.
And it was like
this is a good day.
Yeah, it was a good story too. Like he said he was betting because he was trying to get like some extra money for some of his family.
See, that
members.
part might have been bullshit.
not
but-
I don't know. That's what he said. That's what he said.
Yeah, it does sound like he's a professional football player, so, you know.
Extra money, yeah. I hear you.
Let's be a little.
Is he on a team now?
Someone picked him up.
No,
Eagles.
What is
Eagles,
he?
right?
Eagles.
and he's going to play great. And he's going to
Absolutely.
play absolutely phenomenal.
Yep.
Just like Calvin Ridley, after his year off, came back faster and stronger, and his perspective on the game
He
and
could be a Colt.
what he missed. Who, Calvin Ridley?
Yeah.
Funny enough.
Michael Pittman Jr. probably, right? We assume going to
Yeah.
get franchise tagged by the
Probably.
Indianapolis Colts.
For sure.
Just like who else is getting franchise tagged, they're saying?
Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah,
Brandon Ayuk.
they're talking about.
Hey, what's going on with Brandon Ayuk? So his brother posted on Instagram stories, and then he also, I believe, posted on Instagram stories. You know, kind of cryptic, but we're all just like, this is certainly them not happy about how the Super Bowl went. And Drayshawn Hudson, this is the exact reason why we leave in San Francisco. Thank you, 49ers, for drafting my brother. We are forever grateful. BA to Vegas. Why does your all-pro 1,300-yard receiver have 3 catches in the Super Bowl? I mean, those are valid questions by most fans of the San Francisco 49ers. And then Ayuk also posted, don't forget what got you there.
Yikes.
With the eyeball emojis. I don't know who he's talking to there. I don't know if he's talking to Kyle Shanahan. I don't know if he's talking to Brock Purdy. I don't know if he's talking to his brother. I don't know if he's talking to, maybe something that we
Anybody.
have
Girlfriend.
no idea it's going on about, maybe a business opportunity he's a part of. But everybody's automatically assuming he's saying it towards the Niners. And I would like to be on record as saying that Brandon Ayuk this year became a clear number 1 wide receiver for the team. Brandon Ayuk made a lot of money for himself going into free agency as a wide receiver with the year that he had. Now, will he get franchise tag? Probably still a shit ton of money. Nobody likes franchise tag. I hope everybody gets a long-term contract and gets the maximum value that they have earned and deserve. But it's like sometimes some games, like things aren't going to go right. Spagnola's defense is something that has been talked about over the last 3 weeks as being maybe the greatest defense that has been assembled during a playoff run. And now he is the one that is actually leading this particular year for this entire dynasty. So maybe there's a chance that Brandon Ayuk doesn't have the great, maybe he gets eliminated from a game.
Yeah.
Maybe Brock Purdy misses Ayuk a few times. It's like, I don't like the immediate burial of team whenever something does not go right, especially whenever you are about to make a bunch of money and everybody views you being a fantastic wide receiver and a great guy. Now, I appreciate the fact that they feel like they got to call somebody out and remind them, like, hey, this is the guy. We all agree with that. But man, that is just like that sucks.
Don't love it publicly, but
Me neither.
He's a wide receiver. He's a wide receiver, so I'm buying stock in Brandon Ayuk. Every year he's taking a step, and obviously you want the ball. And Kansas City Chiefs played a ton of man-to-man coverage. So as a number 1 wide receiver, if I'm getting man coverage, I don't care who's across from me, McDuffie, Snead. Give me an opportunity, throw me the ball. So I understand his frustration. Don't love the social media part of it, but as a number 1 wide receiver, we saw it with Kelsey. The first half, like, hey,
tackled in.
It wasn't on IG, but hey, I'm gonna get right in your face right now. Get me the damn ball. So maybe go that route. Maybe give Shanahan a little.
And also, I would love that Brandon Ayuk in Indianapolis.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Brother, you're gonna love this place. You say you're going to Vegas. You guys need to maybe see Indianapolis. Look at this. Look at this scene.
Come on. That's how the sky looks every night.
Yeah, that's it.
I just looked it up on Spotrac. He's on his 5th year option next season, so that would actually be like that'd be like a get out of here situation.
They picked it up.
Yeah, they picked it up before the season. I think it's like 14.8 or 14.9.
So he wants long-term deal.
Yeah,
Or he wants out.
That's like half the top of the market.
Yeah, well.
Tyreek.
I think
Devontae?
what, and they're thinking about 30, 40 million potentially for Justin Jefferson. Who knows what he's going to end up making in this entire market. So that wide receiver market's only going to change, I think, as the years go on, as the offense continues to grow what it is. But it just feels like a new trend.
Yeah.
People just burying their teams. It's so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's so, like, you do what you got to do, I guess, business-wise, and whatever makes you happy. And if this ends up working for Brandon Ayuk, whether he gets a long-term deal or he gets the ball more or he gets happy, whatever the case, he gets to move on, whatever he wants to do, it's like, it's just an uncomfortable situation whenever you're trying to build a squad, try to win a damn Super Bowl, but you got to get your money, I guess.
And like the family thing is one thing. I feel like we see that no matter what. Obviously, you've seen it with Dak's brother. Yeah, like that has been going on forever. Him putting on his own story kind of stinks. But do you?
Kind of stinks.
How do you feel? It does. How do you? I mean, I love it because maybe he's coming to New England. How do you feel?
He's coming to Indianapolis.
No, I doubt that. I doubt that.
They say he's going to Vegas, but that's just Instagram.
Yeah, no, he's just going to Vegas to have fun. He's not going to football.
No quarterback out.
But how do you feel about the two? Because this is kind of the opposite, but also the same thing as Team 3. Like, do you rather the family members of the players with their names at least on it coming out and saying it, or would you rather like the Team Ayuk? Hey, it was a great. Great season,
you know what I do? I lump it all together.
Okay.
Okay, because Team 3 feels like a family to Russell Wilson.
Amen.
They are.
When Team 3 speaking, you feel like it's Russell Wilson's family speaking.
Sure.
Simpatico. And whenever they come out the night before and say, Russell Wilson thinks this offensive line stinks, thinks Pete Carroll's a doofus, thinks the offensive coordinator won't let him cook, and then Russell Wilson has an appearance on Dan Patrick's show the next day and goes, whoa.
I don't know.
I don't know. That's Team 3 saying that. Well, Team 3's in all your Instagrams. I see him. You got the cardio doctor. You got the arm strength coach.
What?
You got the right calf strength coach, right?
Photographer coach.
Photographer coach and photographer.
Breathing coach.
Backwards treadmill coach.
Backwards treadmill coach.
Yeah, it's a big
Just
deal.
put that one out a couple weeks ago. It looked good.
High knees on a plane coach.
Shoulder pads coach.
There's, in Monaco coach.
Because he has to carry him.
So that Team 3, we get is a big company.
Vast.
A big, social media. We didn't even dive into the social media.
Oh, my God.
The email newsletter team.
Yep.
The dorsal fin football.
Probably action figure team.
Russell Wilson team.
Phone team.
So I guess Team 3 could certainly be a lot of people. Where
like
Russell
Google.
Wilson could say, they don't know. They misunderstood what the other half of Team 3 was saying. When it's a family member, you know exactly that it's coming out. It's tough for the team, the player, to even be like, sorry, that wasn't.
I don't know.
I just feel like plausible deniability is at least a little bit allowed with Team 3. When it's coming directly from you or from your
family.
Team, it's really in the locker room. I think it's not easy to just say, that wasn't me. I never said that. You're wrong. But with that being said, if he makes 4 catches in the first week, who cares?
Yeah.
Nobody cares. There's been a lot of drama that has happened in the past publicly. And then once you kind of win a little bit, nothing matters anymore. Or is that just a little red flag? That's an indicator of more problems that are coming to the San Francisco 49ers. Is he just echoing the sentiment of a lot of players on that team thinking to themselves, whoa, how come when the biggest moment comes we don't play? That's sports media in a nutshell right there.
If I would put more into it if it wasn't the day after the Super Bowl. Like
a little emotional.
Little emotional, a lot of
Hungover,
frustration. Maybe a little hungover.
Pissed hungover,
sad drinking is tough. There's a lot of
Exactly.
emotions involved in that. Sad and mad drinking is tough. Shouldn't do that. But I would put more into it if it was then. If he had the same thoughts, a month from now, 2 months from now, then maybe it's an issue. But right now, it's all good.
Well, right now, all eyes are on them, though.
Yes. Yeah.
So I would almost rather a month from now, personally.
Let it fester.
As opposed to right now when everybody's looking to kill the San Francisco 49ers and Kyle Shanahan for giving up a 10-plus point lead again in the Super Bowl. And again, yeah. It happened again.
It doesn't stop at 10 either. I mean, he got that bitch up to 25.
Well, that was offense coordinator.
Yeah, so excuse me.
Okay,
True.
it was in
that
the
was
Niners.
not. Yeah, I agree.
That was in a different city, and they lost to a different team.
A different Super Bowl.
What team did they lose to?
It was the New England Patriots, baby. Greatest game in the history of the NFL football.
Well, it didn't have the most amount of viewers.
No, but it was still the greatest game.
202 million total.
It's a lot.
We knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Roger Goodell said 200 million.
He wasn't putting that out there for no reason.
There was no chance this graphic had any number under 200 on it as the highest number
is it real?
on the graphic. What's that?
What?
Yeah, I mean, exactly.
I'm wondering it too.
They put out our numbers.
It's real.
They put out our numbers. I'm like, sure.
Well, yeah, I don't believe those ones either, though.
That seems real.
I don't believe those either.
Meaning, none of it. And we've had this view, though, on numbers
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
for a long time because, it's an archaic system.
Yep.
Stat that.
How do they hashtag stat that we've had this take a long time, not just now, but full careers in billions and maybe even trillions of dollars
Probably.
depend upon these numbers being released, and it's like, what are they? Can we find out what those are? Well, it's a black box in some people's homes.
People use those.
That they ratio to see what the actual number is. And then there's also an equation for how many people are projected to potentially be watching alongside each person.
Projected?
And it's like, here's the number. It's like, everybody watch the Super Bowl.
People
That's what I'm saying.
There's parties, D, but you got to factor.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
true.
because for every one person, it's
400
probably
million.
2-3 people. No, that is factored into, I believe, the entire math equation that they
See, that's why, hey, just say 300 million.
Why don't you just say everybody watched the Super Bowl?
You know what?
That's what they should say.
Should numbers be more accurate as we go forward with streaming, though? Because I assume YouTube TV can know exactly how many TVs are on the Super Bowl or whatever, versus like the Nielsen ratings where you have to write like, yeah, I watched it or whatever.
So the linear ratings, and this is not just because we're a digital crew, and our show is also on digital, and we appreciate the hell out of the digital folks because this is where we started. But it's like the linear ratings, I'm sure that equation works.
Sure.
Of course.
Somehow.
I'm sure it does. They've been using it a long time. A lot of money has been made. A lot of companies have grown. A lot of lives have been changed because of that particular thing. But on the internet, there is a scoreboard. You kind of see it.
Yep.
You do. Now, people can buy views, but normally those get kind of sniffed out at this particular stage of the internet. Back in the day, whenever the internet was just kind of coming along, the digital streaming was kind of happening. There's people certainly fudging the numbers. How? Buying viewers, making deals with companies that are just literally just have thousands of phones just doing things and running up numbers for people as a business. But I think nowadays you can kind of see that with the action that is happening under the show and under the accounts. Who are the people that are liking accounts? It's like you get exposed almost as a worse company if you're doing that now, as opposed to what you were able to profit from it back in the day. So it's like, I think as we continue to change, but then self-reporting numbers is crazy.
Yep.
Because like they're the only ones that know. So like Amazon reported like 13 million or 14 million or something like that. Nielsen had like 11 million, and then Amazon reported like 13 million. It's like, how does Nielsen have any idea? Amazon would be the only people that would know.
You would think.
And how would Amazon factor in those numbers? Is it everybody that's on the app at the time in which the game is playing, shopping, watching, buying, everything that's potentially taking place? We have no idea. What we know is everybody watched the Super Bowl.
Yeah, everyone.
That's what we know.
A lot of people watch Super Bowl.
202 million is what they're saying.
Crazy.
So even if that whole thing that we question being accurate is real or not, it's at least the same one that's used against everything else.
Yeah.
And the NFL one is above everybody all the time. What is it, 50 million, 60 million people watch championship?
Yep.
Yeah, championship weekend, yeah.
It's so many people.
And then like the majors and NBA finals and other finals is like 11.
Pro Bowl games.
12.
Wow.
Pro Bowl games pulled like 5-6 from their model, which once again, what does it mean with the streaming world that we're in and everything like that? We have no idea. But it's like the NFL just murders.
Yeah.
And they're going to continue to do that.
Oh, yeah, they're king.
When does it go down, though?
That's
it
what I'm
has to go down at some point. When does it go down?
Probably with nuclear war.
Think about it.
That's not happening.
It's Brazil. It's Brazil next year. It's Spain's coming too. Like it's going to keep going, dude. It's worldwide.
And I wonder if these reporters will report like all platform numbers or just one number.
Right.
Once it starts going international, because once they start combining international numbers, these ratings for every single game are just going to go bananas. Now, huge in Germany already, right? We know that. Huge in England. I assume we saw Pro Football Ireland out at the media day. I think it's growing there. So Europe, we'll just assume that it'll have a continued growth. Going down to Brazil and everything like that. And then you saw the
Mexico and Southern
OCU Manura.
Oh, that was a great commercial
About NFL Africa happening.
Ghana, yep.
It's like it's gonna. They're gonna.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Still kind of at the beginning phase.
Very much.
Because you mentioned the NBA and the baseball and the World Series. Like I feel like those are more global games right now. Like you fast forward 10, 20, 30 years from now, I'm with Gump. I don't think these numbers go down anytime soon.
And when they do, though, there will be people real loud.
Also, the betting numbers too. Like the betting numbers were 185 million wagered on the Super Bowl
just
this year.
in Vegas.
That was up 5 million from last year.
Yeah, that was in Nevada.
That was just in Vegas. There was like 2.5 or something that was projected to be bet on in the entire U.S.
2.5 billion.
A lot of money.
And there's still states to be legalized.
Yeah,
there's still states that have to be legalized with that, let alone international gambling. I have no idea what that setup is. In England, they bet on everything.
Oh,
they?
yeah.
That's going to be the Brazil game, like South America will be a frontier. Did it go down during the concussion entire thing?
Oh, yeah.
So that would be the one thing that would bring it down.
Not just concussion thing. the national anthem, political war that took place. It went down during that.
So it can go down.
Only outside factors.
COVID? Did it go down during COVID?
I don't think so.
Nobody was doing anything. It had to have gone up.
The attendance went down a little bit during COVID, but I think the
No, I saw cardboard. Remember they said there'll be 20,000 humans, 45,000 cardboard cutouts.
Can't wait.
Dude, we were watching Korean baseball, dude.
With the sex dolls in the stands.
Right behind home plate.
Yep, all of them.
What was it? The dinosaurs were dogs, dude.
Them and the Bears.
Yeah, I mean,
unreal time.
What was that? We were up at like 6 a.m. watching that damn baseball. And then obviously we had 2 days watching the AFL when they were the last sport to stop.
Incredible.
Aussie rules football. What a time. Yeah, COVID certainly knocked down attendance a little bit in the entire world.
Made it through, though.
We survived.
Yep.
Shout out to SeatGeek. Somehow, this company right here sells tickets to live events. Think about that, Code Red in the office. All right, what are we staring down? They said 2 weeks.
That's it?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, everything's up. Oh, we could do it 2 weeks.
That'll hurt.
We'll just delay everything. We can't cancel because if we cancel, we got to refund everybody. So if we refund everybody, guess what that is? That's money leaving our company to go back to places. So we'll just postpone, delay. Smart. And obviously things started going, and it's 2 years pretty much of no live events. Congrats to SeatGeek.
Congrats, SeatGeek.
Way to survive. Way to survive. Steelers cut their punter.
Oh, man.
Steelers have been in the news a lot here in the last 2 days. Schefter obviously breaks the news yesterday that maybe Pittsburgh's interested in Justin Fields. They're talking about a veteran quarterback. A lot of people said Tannehill may be going to Pittsburgh this past weekend. Then Schefter said yesterday, look for Fields to maybe find his way to Pittsburgh with Artie Smith becoming the offense coordinator there if Artie Smith stayed in Atlanta, Justin Fields was going to be linked to Atlanta. So for some reason, there's people thinking that Justin Fields and Artie Smith are potentially a match made in heaven together for an offense. And I think a lot of Pittsburgh Steelers fans say, I'm not against that.
No, I don't hate it.
Cut the punter yesterday as well. Make some moves around the roster. Presley Harvin obviously is going to find a home around the NFL. I think being in Pittsburgh's tough. I think that is a tough place to punt. I don't know if anybody else.
Wind?
Just everywhere you play is terrible. So everywhere you play is terrible. And Pittsburgh is terrible. And the fans will boo you at.
They turned on Presley pretty quickly, and he deserved it. I mean, he was ranked near the dead last in punters the last few years in pretty much everything. So he kind of deserved it. But yes, it is a tough place to kick.
It's a very tough place to punt. Wouldn't want to do it. Mitch Berger, back in the day, I believe, punted there.
Yeah, our guy Josh.
Josh Miller, Chris
Gardocki. Yeah, there's been punters throughout the years that have been able to stick around, but that was back in the day. No offense to those guys, but people weren't just averaging like 50 yards a punt, and there isn't like bombers all over the place. Obviously, as techniques evolve, people get better at things, and in Pittsburgh, it's not a fun place. I did see, though, and after watching his film and how he punts, it's like Matt Araiza is a guy that would be able to potentially handle the AFC North stadiums. You have to have a very strong leg, just like Presley Harvin did. Yep. I assume Presley Harvin will go to the lab. He'll get better. He'll end up somewhere else, just like most punters do that end up getting cut from a team, and he'll be on to bigger and better things, hopefully, for him. And I'm a big fan of his. I mean, he signed his helmet right over here. So obviously it's a bummer anytime somebody loses a job. But like the punt god, obviously been through a lot. And he's been cleared of charges, and he has not been back in the NFL. It's like maybe the Pittsburgh Steelers are the place to pick him up, and maybe we got a little punter play.
Yeah, he was a strong fan favorite on Twitter yesterday as far of who they should go after, him and Torrey Taylor, just because that's the only college kicker or punter that anyone knows. So those names were being thrown out there a lot yesterday. It was great, though. They wasted no time, okay? Day after the Super Bowl. It's time to go. It's the next season. They cut him. They let go Mitch Chooks Okafor, who was a tackle that didn't plan out. They created a bunch of cap space. So it's like, hey, we're doing things. And
I heard Mason Rudolph too. Also,
Mason. It's rumored that he wants a fresh start somewhere.
So Trubisky fresh start, Mason Rudolph fresh start. These two quarterbacks going to Pittsburgh. And you know what? We need to take a breather, go somewhere
Which
else.
Makes sense for Mason because it has been a very up and down career for him there and with the Steelers fans. But like, it's good because I love what Omar Khan's doing, GM of the Pittsburgh Steelers, because the last few years, and he is a Hall of Famer, and he was awesome in a lot of great years, but the last few years that Kevin Colbert was there, didn't make a ton of great moves. And it's like Omar's coming in and kind of trying to change the vibes and kind of change what was going on there. And it's awesome. It's nice to see a fresh a fresh start because that's kind of what needed right now.
Yeah, the Pittsburgh Steelers are trying to turn over a new page. How about the New England Patriots? You guys going to make any moves? What the hell you got going on?
Oh, we're going to make plenty of moves.
You got McAdoo trying to find you guys a quarterback here right before the combine?
Macagenius is in the lab
That's
right
not what
now.
people
figuring out.
He's got
First
old
time I heard.
haircut, new haircut.
It doesn't matter.
There's no way he still got that slick back.
I hope
He was good with the mushroom cut. When he went slick back, he was no good.
You never.
I
called
want
him
him bald.
Macagenius.
I want no hairs on his body. The only hairs I want activated in his body should be inside his brain, and they're neuro hairs. Okay, and he needs to be in.
Hell yeah.
He needs to be inside the building, watching Jaden Daniels film, Caleb Williams film, Drake May film, and that's it. And after that, I don't want to see or hear about Doofus until the draft. But Gerard May already said we're going to spend money. Probably going to bring in either Pittman, T. Higgins, Calvin Ridley, Ayuk, because he doesn't want to be in San Fran. Word on the street is he
Well,
loves-
I mean, they're going to get that figured out.
I don't know. I will not.
You're
Not
gonna get all
today.
the free agent
Not
wide
today.
receivers?
Today, in this moment, right now,
last
they don't
one.
have it figured out. Okay, so the New England Patriots, he's on the table.
All right, let's talk about some other sports. Big news yesterday. Tiger Woods has launched his own brand of golf apparel. Congrats to Eldrick Woods, obviously. Now, we feel like the name was there. Tiger.
Sitting there.
Just right there. But instead, it's called Sunday Red.
Wait, not Sunday? Like Sunday, Red?
No. Space.
No.
Sunday Red. Woo! But if you say it in a sentence, you'd be like, hey, you going to pick up that Sunday Red? It sounds like you're talking about a day of the week.
Yeah.
That is not the case.
No.
This is 3 words. The reason why it's 3 words is because some Harvard study of marketing says, according to TaylorMade CEO David Abellis, the phrase Sunday Red was strategically broken into 3 words due to the rule of 3s, which is a powerful principle in marketing communication that suggests information presented in groups of 3 is more memorable, engaging, and persuasive. That makes sense. I mean, David, you think of like Facebook, it's 1 word.
Yeah.
It was the Facebook.
And if they had any thought of the rule of 3, it would have been the Facebook.
Yeah, and then you think of like Amazon worth 2.9 trillion or 1.75 trillion or something like that. Then you think of Apple worth like 2.99 trillion. Then you think of like Netflix, and then you think of like Google.
But no,
You think about Jordan.
No.
Yeah.
Apparel. So like
Sun.
Nike.
Shoes.
No.
E.
It makes sense, you know, why you wouldn't just name it Sunday Red, but nonetheless, will support Tiger Woods.
Yeah, of
course.
Okay, this is athlete running his own company, doing his own thing, and if it's going to make me a better golfer, and if it's going to make me look cool, give me Sunday Red. I think it makes you a better golfer immediately, D-Bud.
Absolutely. I hate that I have to wait till May to
Yeah.
get it, but I will be getting at least one of everything. Yeah,
Of everything.
Everything on
This
the
first drop, Tiger's line. Yeah, it'll grow on me.
I signed up
I'll
for the
love it.
email list
One
to
of
get that
everything.
first drop notice. And
Yeah.
if there's a bag of shit on there with Sunday
Red.
Red on it, I'm going to get it because I'm a huge Tiger mark. But yeah, Sunday Red would
Sunday Red.
would
No.
be cool.
Or how about Tiger?
Tiger would be cool too.
Because-
The
because
logo's a
Tiger-
tiger.
It had to be some trademark or something. It had to be something behind
Nope.
it.
Well, actually,
it's no
you
way
can't
people.
trademark a day.
Well, that's not true, obviously. But the you can't a day, but a phrase with a day you can. It's been done before, and actually Sunday Red, I believe, has already been trademarked. So they would have had to do big business negotiation with that person. But rule of 3s. Rule of 3s.
Good rule.
I remember that.
These marketing people.
Marks.
Got all the answers.
I can't take it. I just can't take it. So dumb.
Pat Mc-
But you know what I love? Sunday Red. Hour 2 on the other side. Is now is a man who will be compared to forever whenever they're talking about GOAT conversations in the sport of football. That's because he won 7 Super Bowls, was consistently dominant for more than 2 decades at football. Ridiculously handsome, so absurdly handsome. An underdog story too, picked at 199 of the NFL draft. Not a top 5 pick, not handed anything. And then what did he do? He went to work, did his job, became the greatest of all time, and now a phenomenal businessman and a great representation of the greatest league on earth. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Brady. Hell Hell yeah,
What's
dude.
up, my man?
Tom, I thought this was all potential gimmick rip. I didn't know if you were actually on the show. I'm so pumped you were here. Hey, we love you, dude. We love you, Tom.
I appreciate it.
When you're 40 years old and you've won 6 Super Bowls and you're already being called the GOAT, was there anything to you getting to the point of just being, I'm tired of Bill Belichick talking to me like I'm a 23-year-old? Because that was kind of the lingering at the end of your time at New England.
There was so much people just trying to create some division that most of it was untrue, but it's just the way the world works. And naturally, I think division from within is a big problem in these team environments. And I don't like seeing any dysfunction in team environments. Obviously, my respect for Coach Belichick is pretty well documented. He was an incredible leader and coach for our team. And I tried to do my best every single day that I took the field. I knew that he did the same thing. And I think that's why I respected his coaching so much.
But whenever they talk about the Patriot way, that is normally the reason that is given is like the Patriot way, the Patriot way, the Patriot way.
I've never used that term in my entire life. I think when people say it, I'm always like, what's the Patriot way? It sounds like the title of a book. I think what we tried to do was we tried to do things the right way. I think we tried to practice the right way and prepare the right way. What happened on game day was ultimately a reflection of what we practiced. And I thought we had great leadership from our coaches, and it filtered down to the guys who really drove the culture. We had so many guys that I played with over the course of a lot of years that really understood that, okay, I'm going to care about my teammates and I'm going to care about helping the team win.
There's a guy on our show who is a diehard Patriot fan. Boston Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Tommy, I have to.
What's up, Boston?
I have to start and just say thank you. You know, my whole life has been incredible because of the fact that you have won 6 Super Bowls. And, you know, I'm a loser every day, but I'm a winner as a football fan because of you and what the Patriots were able to do. So thank you. What do you think the new era of New England with Mayo is going to be?
Him coming back into coaching, I think is great for the NFL and certainly great for the Patriots. He's got a great understanding of how things need to be done. I think Gerard does an incredible job relating to everybody in the locker room, all the coaches, and I think he'll do a great job.
Going into the booth, are you utilizing the same thing, hearing what people are saying about you going in there? And how do you balance that while still being a human?
The broadcast going to be 5 years from now is going to be hopefully more improved than the one that starts on day one. So I'm going to go in there with the opportunity to start and learn, and I'm sure by the end of the year I'll feel more comfortable. I really want to be a great ambassador for the NFL and the game. I love the sport. I love the athletes. I love the organizations, and I really appreciate how challenging it is to get there, again, like the Chiefs have.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
Why?
let's go.
This show sticks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Sport.
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Phenom Tuesday, February 13th, 2024. Hour 2 of the program starts right now. Sports are awesome, and we are lucky to talk about them every single day for the next 6 months before the NFL season kicks back off. The talks table is here, but it looks a little different. That's because it's at Boston Connor rocking an incredible flamingo shirt. It does appear.
Thank you. Yeah, this has been the Office favorite.
Yes.
By far.
Good
the
vibes.
Most
Great
compliments. That was the goal. I figured, you know what? It's Tuesday. It's the off season. Might as well brighten it up, bring some colors. And turns out everyone basically loves flamingos. Not a very polarizing animal.
That shirt reminds me of Miami Subs we used to have in
It does.
Plum
Is that
It
right?
used to be so. They had these seasoned fries.
Oh, unbelievable.
They shut down. I don't know how. I honestly have no idea how
I think
they
it was
shut.
a racket. I think it was.
No, that was Smarty Artie's.
Well, that
They were
definitely
running
was.
cocaine out of the
Yeah.
back. Actual
Cocaine
shout out.
Artie.
People used to say, "Well, these wings are so good. It must have crack in them." Turns out, maybe.
Yep.
Turns out there was a chance, and that's where we grew up.
So
Maybe
good.
why we are the way we are.
Probably.
Darius J. Butler sitting next.
Yes,
to
sir. Bud.
Ty Schmidt will be gone the rest of the week. We will miss him. One half of the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys Tone Diggs is here. And a man out of Canada who just about 9 months ago was on the actual banned list from the United States of America.
That's right.
Now, American Dream Tale. A guy who's the greatest internet splunker and video splunker that has ever existed. Former ship painter. Ladies and gentlemen, Bubblegum Peanut.
Great to be here, boys. Great to be here.
Gumps, how's the internet? Are we alive? Are we cooking? It's Tuesday after the Super Bowl.
Yeah, people aren't happy about the Patrick Mahomes box office tweet.
What are you talking about?
Well, you gave everybody else their flowers and then said Mahomes is the biggest box office. People aren't happy about it.
What are they not happy about?
Well, you mentioned Messi. You mentioned our tribal chief.
Serena.
You mentioned McGregor.
Caitlin Clark.
Right now, Mahomes is the biggest box office. He just won the Super Bowl.
Who's mad at me? The people that are fans of all those people?
Yeah.
Oh, so I got the Messi marks on me?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, listen, Messi and I are on the same team. He's playing for the United States in the next World Cup. It's been determined already.
Florida man.
Bingo. Miami man. Florida man.
Yep.
Messi. He's walking around Publix. He's walking around grocery stores down there just dapping people
problem.
up. He sang national anthem, they said, the other night. You know, he's playing for U.S. going forward. We got no problems. Now, I know 1.5 billion people watch him win a World Cup. And other people have been wondering if he could win a World Cup for Argentina. But Patrick Mahomes, if you're going to see him on TV, you're going to walk away? I don't think so. I don't think so. Now, the Tribal Chief and The Rock certainly.
Boy, oh boy.
200 million views. Digital, real life.
So
72 hours, that's box office. Conor McGregor, when's he going to fight? That's box office. Caitlin Clark has people paying $1,000 for a women's college basketball game in February in multiple different cities. That's box office. It's hard to do. Hey, who would sell out what arena or theater anywhere? Especially if you're going to. What's that?
Sunday.
Yeah.
Red.
He's back.
Must watch.
He's box off. That name sucks.
It's bad.
What?
That name, I love it. It's going to be it's like hard for me not to mock it. Like every time I see it, I'm like, Sunday Red. Because if you don't, Sunday Red, it's just one. So does the 3 words work if the first 2 words are bundled?
Because everybody's going to say it.
I don't love the logo now that we're talking about it.
Whoa! I love the
Hold on.
Logo's fine.
There was a little tidbit Gertie shared with us on the break. There are the exact amount of stripes as he has major championships.
That's really
When he
cool.
wins another one, do they add another
Then they
one?
have
Oh,
to
yeah.
add it, yeah.
Bigger tail, longer tail.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
Okay,
Like
I wouldn't worry
tiger,
about that.
tiger.
Tiger.
Shut
Yeah,
your
Tiger,
mouth.
Tiger.
You
Joining
piece
us now is a man whose picture is Tiger's going to win another major. That tail's going to have to get long.
He might win
Well,
this
yeah,
week.
all the good players left.
No.
They'll be at the.
They're at the major.
You're still right, Nick. They'll still be there.
What?
So you don't think Sunday Red
Yeah.
is going to have a Sunday while wearing Sunday Red? You're out of your damn mind.
If he's in a Sunday golf cart, yeah, I do think so. But unfortunately,
His leg's all the way
that's not
back.
gonna
He's all the way
happen.
back. Charlie's been working out with him.
I hope. I truly hope, because there was nothing better than him winning that Masters in 2019. I want it to happen. I just,
He has to with Sunday Red.
Red, yeah.
Has to win one with Sunday Red.
should. I hope. Don't know
Every
if he-
time.
don't know
Every
if he-
time. I hate that I have
It'll
to.
grow on you.
I don't think so.
I think it will.
Joining us now is a man whose picture is very much in a new documentary about murder.
Yeah, it's circulating right now.
Yeah, Stu was on a thumbnail that a murderer had.
A couple of them, allegedly.
There he is, right up top.
That's him. Ladies and gentlemen, the all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, and obviously a man who is
Inspires.
idolized by a killer, A.J. Hawk.
That boy Hawker. Oh!
A.J.,
this is a real thing. I got a tweet from somebody saying that something about this lover stalker killer thing. So this was actually legit.
So going to watch this weekend for sure. Have no idea what happened. Lover, stalker, killer. Seems like a lot of bad stuff happened, but allegedly from the tweets that I read and from the research that Nick has done, they found a thumbnail drive of the killer, right?
Yeah, it was a micro SD card, and it kind of cracked the whole case wide open because the evidence they needed was a picture of a dead body on that card that also happened to be littered with pictures of A.J. Hawk and the Green Bay Packers.
What?
Definitely not littered. There's no way it was.
No.
This is one scroll. They said there were scrolls and
He's a
scrolls.
big Packers fan. What can I say? It's just like some wallpaper background that he has there.
Yeah, well, I think he was even a graphic designer. It's like AJ.
She.
Oh, she loves it.
I mean, I don't want to spoil the doc for everybody, but
You just did.
I'm so sexist just assuming some psycho serial killer that has AJ Hawk and a thumb drive alongside a dead body is definitely a man.
Well, most of them are. Most of them are. I mean, that's a safe assumption.
If you're a white
There.
male from
Bingo.
the Midwest, the chances of you becoming a serial killer, I think, are much higher than anywhere else.
I assume-
sure.
That's just from the documentaries
She
that I've
was
watched.
definitely white.
Certainly. Certainly.
Yep.
can confirm.
Put this thing back up. What do you know
Is
about
she
this?
from
AJ?
Wisconsin? I don't know. Like, is she from Wisconsin? What's the deal with all this? I need to watch.
How long were you with
Centerville
her?
girl.
Romantically.
Yeah, I believe it's a Centerville high school sweetheart.
Yeah, what if I went to prom with her or something?
Did you?
What if you were next?
And you dumped her and sent her down this spiraling wormhole?
Hold on. So what do we know? You were potentially next, bro. Stalker?
Yes. Absolute stalker.
Okay.
Wait.
I mean, AJ, I'm thankful you're alive.
Might be on a list somewhere.
I'm pretty pumped you're alive. You know how they said, like in,
Oh my God.
back in the day, there was lists that were made. Our high school had a couple of them.
Glad I called that guy.
Bingo. A little bit of those types of things. And then you find out that you were potentially on a list. You're like, phew, geez, what happened?
That's hardcore.
What's happening? Can somebody just erase my name off there? Or how do we go about going forward here? In this particular case, you might have been the next victim of this stalker, killer, lover thing. I'm happy you made it, AJ. I'm pumped. Now, not everybody's alive. They said there's a dead body in here somewhere.
Oh,
Not
In
everyone
this
made
thing
it.
somewhere.
Not everyone made it.
Hey,
Rest in
what do you
peace.
notice,
Yeah, it's
though?
actually very
What do you
tragic.
notice?
What's that?
The rule of 3, lover, stalker, killer. Took a little page out of Tiger's
Son of a bitch. Why would you do that?
How? First of all, we're all pumped for Tiger. We are all pumped for Tiger.
Very pumped.
Anytime an athlete continues to grow their business portfolio and take ownership and buy into something, I'm a massive fan of that. I like it. I assume he's getting a huge percentage of this, and it's going to do well because we're all going to buy it.
For sure.
Because we would like to support it. Is that the dumbest name of all time? What do we, I mean, how, and how do you not go, son, day, red, everything? Is that what we're supposed to do? Is that, maybe this is the most intelligent name of all time because whenever we say it, we have to sound like assholes while we're saying it.
I mean, I think it could easily morph into where people just call it red, maybe. Do you think? Or just Sunday? I don't know.
Is this Foxy's problem?
People tell me the brand.
Same old line, brand new line.
Maybe,
Foxy's fault.
maybe you're supposed to say it with your golf group.
Yeah,
Maybe
but-
you're only supposed to have one word.
And for the brand, we did just have like kickers, like Tiger is just sitting
Yeah, his name.
right here,
Yeah, and it's
Shaq. There's not a lot of people that just one name. It's literally
absolutely, and just have like a silhouette of Tiger doing something as the
with
the
an
logo.
actual tiger, maybe. All
Maybe he
riding
thought
a
MJ
tiger?
already did that. Maybe he didn't want to take from
Jordan.
So
right, let's talk about some stuff that happened in our world. Okay, past that,
Yep.
we're in it, boys.
Yeah. No, we're here.
it. Wait, what?
Yeah, I was waiting for this.
What just happened?
This is the off season.
I've been waiting for it.
Yeah.
Best time of year.
Yeah, just went through it all. Decided the only thing that is really worthy of getting chatted about right now is that Justin Fields is going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Adam Schefter said that yesterday, pretty much. AJ, that's big news.
Shefty said Tomlin is a big fan, correct?
Yes, Tomlin's a big fan. Obviously, Artie Smith has been linked to Justin Fields in the past whenever he was at Atlanta. I wonder if there's just a bunch of smoke behind the scenes. Has Artie Smith had a couple cocktails at places and been like, I love Justin Fields.
Maybe.
I absolutely love Justin Fields. Just like what happened with Harbaugh at the funeral, chit-chatting about Justin Herbert with Mike Greenberg. Has that been why they've been linked together?
I always
seemingly?
thought the Artie Smith and Justin Fields link was because people saw that he could potentially fit in that offense and then also that he was from Atlanta. I thought it was just kind of a hometown thing. And Shefty said that yesterday about Mike Tomlin and Justin Fields. But then this is not a Steelers move. This is not something they would normally do. And Rooney came out in his end of season press conference and said, it would be surprising if they did make headlines with a quarterback.
Oh, so
move.
Russell Wilson, who's also potentially being linked to Pittsburgh, probably not.
Yeah, most of these are probably not.
This is the offseason.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting linked to
But
everyone.
I mean, if Mason's gone and Mitch is gone, you're gonna have to. You can't just have one quarterback going into next year, and you're not gonna bring in a bunch of slapdicks either. So it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what the Pittsburgh Steelers do because Steelers fans not thrilled about where they are, D-Bud.
Not at all. And obviously the biggest question mark there, at least for me, is still the quarterback. And
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
you got
by
Kenny
far.
Pickett coming back. But I think, I like Justin Fields. I think the Bears should keep him, but I think at this point it's a foregone conclusion. They're going to trade him and draft most likely.
It does feel like that's where we are at. Has anybody from the Bears alluded to that?
No, it was the whole report was about how polls, they were just gathering as much information right now before figuring out
The
whether
locker
they're
room
going
has
to
been
trade him.
behind Fields the whole time.
And then the combine, that's when all the conversation.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably.
Hey, we have some big news potentially at Combine. Potentially.
Potentially.
We don't know, but we think so.
Found out yesterday that it is here in a couple weeks.
Yeah, found out it is directly in the middle of when we decide to take the once-a-year break.
Yep.
Everything is happening in our city. Should have done a little more research. Sue us. Don't actually. But we're going to be cooking in there, we believe. We believe we're going to be cooking in there because all of us are going to be back. And at that point, those breaks I get like 3 days in, and I get real antsy.
Yeah, I have a feeling this year's break's gonna be a little different after the season we had.
You think so?
I think maybe for me at least. I know it will be, but I maybe you guys will be the same.
Combine, though, is when all the drama and all the bullshit comes out, AJ. Now, you want number
When
5.
all the business happens. Sorry to catch up with you. We know that's when everything happens with the agents, with the scouts, with the GMs. That's when they go talk. That's when they have these meetings, and when all of the work gets done, I feel like.
And those top 5 picks right there have a lot of power whenever they're walking around Indianapolis. Because there's a lot of franchises that are willing to do some absurd things to potentially move up. The Carolina Panthers did it just last year. A lot of people forget the Chicago Bears had the number 1 overall pick last year. They earned it. They were the worst team in all of football. They said, you know what? We suck. Let's get the number 1 overall pick. Carolina Panthers said, we got you. Traded a bunch away to get up there. Now the Carolina Panthers earned their way into the number 1 pick, and now the Chicago Bears have it back. But people do some absurd things around draft time to make their team better. There could be a lot of action coming out of the combine.
Absurd, and everyone's so far got a high rating on those top 3 quarterbacks, which makes it even more interesting because people like to move up. And then Daniel Jeremiah tweeted that expect a lot of teams to try to move up because teams are not happy with next year's quarterback draft class, so that they want to go get their quarterback this year.
What's real?
DJ wouldn't lie to us.
No, I believe Move the Sticks is the guy.
He is.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he said this 2 years ago during the bigger draft with all the quarterbacks, and it was Kenny Pickett's was the only first-round pick, is that's why guys traded up in the year before.
They said this year, deep O-line. Could you FaceTime Jeff Saturday again? So they say this offensive line group is the deepest it's been. But I heard just a few years ago that offensive line might be a position that becomes extinct because of the way college football has become. I wonder why it has kind of flipped a little bit, AJ.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're seeing like a little bit of the evolution of football. We know the whole spread them out, take half field reads in college and doing all that stuff. So like sometimes those linemen would have those big giant splits trying to the pass block, and with the RPO situation now, I think the road graders were getting kind of phased out, and I think now they're kind of coming back into style.
There was guys that weren't even in 3-point stances. Yeah. Like they always talk about quarterbacks not being able to go under center or whatever, not being able to take a snap or break a huddle. It's like there's some offensive linemen that have never been in a 3-point stance in high school or in college, and you talk to old school offensive linemen, it's like, what? 3 points. What do we even? How? That is offensive line.
Day one, yeah.
Yeah, that is what offensive line football is. And it's like now it's starting to come back a little bit physical. I think that's a good take on that.
You heard what Jeff said when I asked him about getting over the hump. You got to be physical. We saw the teams in the playoffs, most of them down to the divisional and the championship round. Those were physical teams that could run the ball. And remember this offseason when the free agents started getting paid, it was a bunch of linemen that got those big bags first. The guy in Atlanta,
Denver.
Yeah, Denver. So I think it's coming back around for sure.
All right, let's go, big guys.
Here we go.
Love you, big guys.
Let's go, big guys. You need to get bigger, stronger, faster, because you're about to start pounding the rock a little bit more. All the teams that are around in the end are going big. And we'll see what that means for the defensive side, too. Some of those slower linebackers, and by slower, I mean like 4.5, 4.6. Like those guys might actually have a little bit more opportunity now because as opposed to having to run sideline to sideline every single player, now you're going to have to be able to stay a little stot. If you look at Roquan Smith, Patrick Queen, you look at Fred Warner and
Dre Greenlaw,
like thumpers, big.
Yeah,
they can now obviously they can run and move, but it's like you got to be able to fill a gap, fill a hole, too, in this linebacker era.
Yeah, and that football is so entertaining. So if that is where it's going back to, I sure hope so. With the combine, I was just thinking about last year, Derek Carr, free agent tour here. Do you think Kirk Cousins and Russell and probably not Fields because he's contracted. At least those two. Do you think Tannehill maybe fly in here, do a little, hey, come pitch your team to me?
We would like to let Russell Wilson, Tannehill, anybody else that's potentially doing this. You can utilize an office in the Thunderdome.
Oh,
if you'd like to set up meet and greets with GMs.
Got that front room.
Kevin Durant did this in the Hamptons. Okay, Derek Carr did it in a restaurant. The Thunderdome is yours.
Boom.
If you want to play a little pig or horse with them out here.
Get to know the coach.
Yeah, you want to play a little cornhole. You guys want to run some gassers, whatever you want to
golf,
do.
You got the sim upstairs.
You want to golf, compete against each other. You want to kind of learn about each other. The floor is yours here at the Thunder because we won't be here. And that was a bad decision. That was a bad decision. Speaking of decisions that were made, the Dallas Cowboys have officially hired Mike Zimmer as their defensive coordinator.
Damn.
Yesterday, Schefter came on and was like, I would like to be completely transparent about the situation that occurred on NFL Countdown on Super Bowl Sunday. Mike Zimmer has not signed a deal to become the Dallas Cowboys defense coordinator. What Rex Ryan said was accurate. He actually got a text message 15 minutes before I made the news that Zimmer was going to be the DC. And he said, I don't think that's the case because they weren't able to maybe get a deal done. Well, they're able to get a deal done now. Congrats to Mike Zimmer, back in the NFL, back with the Cowboys where he was from 2000 to 2005, I think. 2000 to 2005 to 2006, maybe one of those years. He's back down there. He's an experienced defensive guy. Jerry Jones was going to go with an older coach, it feels like. This is good news, you think, for the Cowboys, A.J. Hawk?
Yeah, this is like one of the names that popped up right after Dan Quinn took the Commander's job. I think, Zimmer's been out of the league for what, 3 years now at this point, I guess?
Two.
KOC.
Either way, yeah.
So, yeah.
He's one of those guys where your defense takes on his personality. We hear about that a lot. That's what you get with, I think, a Zimmer defense. Absolutely. They're going to be tough, hard-nosed, and run to the ball.
Is his eye good?
I don't know about that, but he was an assistant or an analyst consultant the last 2 years with Prime at Colorado and Jackson State. He was Cowboys 94 to 06. DC was 2000 to 2006.
Okay, so he came up in the Dallas Cowboys
Yeah,
organization.
he was defensive assistant and then a backs coach and then the coordinator from 2000 to 2006.
Oh, so Jerry knows Mike Zimmer
And that's how he knows
Very
Prime.
well, yeah.
Okay, so he was getting that gig if he wanted that gig, seemingly.
That was a long time.
Got a lot of history there.
The deal, they said. It was some deal. Who knows?
You think with Zimmer one next year or something?
So Mike McCarthy only has 1 year left on his deal.
Bingo.
So I would assume that Jerry Jones was like, well, I'm not giving you a 3-year deal if the head coach only has a 1-year deal. That would be a balance. Because remember, this is the situation that brewed with Cliff Kingsbury in Las Vegas, allegedly. We have no idea what's real and no, it's not real. We can only tell you what's being reported. Cliff Kingsbury wanted a 3-year deal, which is the standard, I guess, for coordinators or assistant coaches. The Raiders only wanted to give a 2-year deal, which is allegedly what what teams are hoping for in the future. Was it a similar debate with Mike Zimmer and the Dallas Cowboys? We do not know.
I was talking to somebody on Radio Row, and they said first and foremost, Jerry is a businessman. Do not get that wrong. And with Mike only having 1 year left, and if they do fire Mike, he's not going to want to pay Zim for 2 extra years. Just like you just said, after he's not going to be there, because who knows if the incoming coach would keep him on.
Who would be up next year for the head coaching jobs?
Bill Belichick, Pete Carroll.
Mike Vrabel.
Mike Vrabel.
Yeah. So Mike McCarthy has the ghost of Bill Belichick potentially just staring all season long. Better win those games.
Week 3.
Look at the playoffs,
They
Mike.
start 0-1.
Yeah,
Imagine
exactly.
that.
He's not wrong.
Legitimately.
If they play
Cowboys
in
start
Brazil-
0-1 and lose to a
Tough
bad
spot.
team.
Tough spot.
Mike's going to get it right away.
Now what if they rattle off 10-0?
See, that might be
They
worse.
lose first round. It doesn't matter.
That might be worse.
Legit. They lost that game to the Cardinals at the start of the year this year, and people were calling for him.
Yeah, who was quarterback for that team?
That was Josh Dobbs still.
Oh, yeah.
Dog.
That was a good story this year.
Great story.
Had a good run.
The Pastronaut was a
Comes
good
and goes. Comes and goes so fast, doesn't it?
Tommy Cutlets, that was a good story.
Tommy Cutlets, he was at NFL Honors.
Tyson Baggett.
He was in a Pizza Hut commercial.
Yeah.
That guy was in a Super
Really?
Bowl commercial.
Which-
I don't know if that was Stellato or somebody else.
It's not.
Whoever got Tommy Cutlets into a Super Bowl commercial.
Hut.
That's crazy. He just did this. Hey.
The backup quarterback. It was the year of the back. I mean, Jake Browning.
Browning.
Browning's a
he
thought.
Well,
was
yeah,
a
I mean,
story, but
60
he-
of them started, so a few of them were going to have a couple good games.
The NFL is not looking for next year to be this year of the backup quarterback. That is not what they're looking for. What rules are going to change this offseason?
Well, hip
No more
drop, you
Achilles.
obviously can't hip drop.
Well, they said the Gator rule is more so the issue with
That
the hip drop
too.
tackle.
How are you going to stop that?
I thought that's been gone.
Yeah, the ground's not allowed to snatch Achilles anymore.
They were able to
That's
stop.
they're trying to take the head out of it, so you have to. That's what they teach is like the crazy gator roll situation, head behind, which I still don't know how you make a tackle with your head behind the ball.
Well, they want people, obviously, I don't know how you have the leverage to be able to do so unless you're much bigger than the person you were trying to tackle, but they are trying to make it a shoulder and arm tackle league. In the hip drop tackle is a arm tackle, pretty much, where you're riding the person. Now, granted, we are just learning of the hip drop tackle.
Yeah.
Everybody, even people that played football.
It's never had a name until now. It just got a name this last year.
But that is shout out to Warren. He also got the Las Vegas Golden Knights big win over Edmonton Oilers. I see. But that's like an arm tackle. So if you say can't do an arm tackle from behind while putting your body weight down, How do you describe that? And then, like obviously they were able to get rid of the horse collar, which got called the other day in a Super Bowl, which is they were able to get rid of that because I think that's a clear distinction of like, okay, it's in the nameplate, in the jersey thing, that's it. How do they change the other tackle rules? I have no idea. They'll figure out a way, though. They'll figure out a way.
What do they say at this stage? Like, what's the penalty? This was a very dangerous tackle. We do not accept this. Like,
intent to injure.
You have to have a name for it. How do you? I don't see how they can do this.
They're gonna call it a hip drop. I think they call it a hip drop. Even maybe they may take out the low hit with T.J. Hawkinson and who else? Somebody
Higbee.
Playoff.
You can't do that.
Yeah, Higbee got taken out. So
then
maybe
there's no
they
strike
changed.
zone.
Maybe they changed the target zone. They changed it before.
Okay, so they'll go middle of thigh board.
Yep.
To
nipple.
Yeah, to nips.
Which you can't hit there because your head always comes
Nips
up.
to hips.
Yeah,
It'll be nips to hips, probably.
What if guys got a third nip, though, and they still a little bit higher?
Exactly.
You can hit him anywhere.
No, well,
Yeah,
what
that
if
guy-
it's a little higher?
Huge target on his back.
So does everybody have to have spots of where their nips are then?
I think so.
Oh, yeah, you have to change the color of jerseys to like kind of like a hot and cold.
Because we know some guys have saggier nips. So, like, is their strike zone much smaller, just like John Cena playing for the Savannah Bananas?
Yeah.
Where he was way down there?
Duck down.
Is that now a weapon to have saggy nipples potentially?
Maybe
as a wide receiver?
So you cut your nipples off. Like if I would cut my nips off, you can't tackle me. Boom. Sure, I can't.
I think there's no roof then. I think,
you can.
I think then you're in
Then
trouble.
the ceiling's the roof.
I think you want to lower your nips. I don't think you want to get rid of your nips.
Oh, so take them off, put them on my belly button.
Yeah. Funny thing about my nips is they're actually located
on my belly button. Yeah, so you can't really hit me.
I think Target should sponsor the NFL. Target, the store,
Oh,
and then
my
just
God.
put a big, massive target on where you're allowed to hit people.
And then the ref will say, personal foul, defense, missed the Target bullseye.
Bingo.
Boom.
And then we move
That's
forward.
a huge marketing opportunity. Target, one word though. So
We need some more of those Southern refs back. Whenever they would do that real
Giving them
draw
business.
would come out. Personal foul,
Ooh.
roughing the passer, defense, first down, whatever.
Nah.
Those refs
You don't like
talking
those?
to the camera, they need a little bit more pizzazz.
A little bit.
Bring the juice a little bit. Do you think they train them? I'm sure they do practice that. Hey, okay, now you're going to stand up in front of the whole room, fake like you're turning your mic on, and make a call. I would hope they practice that.
And what happened to the old school, little showman when they tap on a thing?
Yeah.
that's nice.
Just let them know, hey, I got control here if we need it. And you're representing the sport. You're representing the league. In a solo shot to 60 million, not a lot of people get ISO shots to 60 million people. Not a lot of people get ISO shots to 202 million people. They got to be good speakers. Hey, we need good speakers as the Whitecaps. Now, obviously, you got to be good refs as well, but let's have a little Gene Steratore pizzazz. Let's have a little Ed Hockey.
More
I hope
Italians.
that's what they work. A lot of Italians around the league. You start looking around. Maybe we need all Italian head refs so we get the full. Hey,
You heard it, Steratore, Hockey League. You
That's
said
it?
right there.
Can't have that guy losing his voice like in the playoffs.
What happened?
Yeah,
What
that's
happened?
tough.
What are you
Guy had
saying?
a squeaky voice the
guy-
whole time.
yeah,
the whole game. What happened?
Who?
Can't have microphone malfunction either where, you're caught hot mic'd, not good, but at least you got to own it if it happens. Sorry about it. Drop one of those in there. Maybe that'll be something they'll change this offseason is we need more pizzazz from the refs.
Well, and pizzazz, that's easy. I mean, if we're talking about voices here, you just set up an AI so that whatever the referee. Hold on, let me get there.
No, this
Just
is
hold
wrong.
on, let me get there.
Land
I'm not
this-
saying
you better land
I'm not
this plane
saying
quick,
using AI.
dude.
I'm not saying use an AI to be a referee. I'm saying you use an AI technology so that when the referee talks, it comes out through the loudspeakers as an Italian man or a man from the South or however you want to customize
I
the
like
sound
that, actually.
of your own
Or
voice.
French.
We only need one
exactly.
voice. Just call that dude up, the Yinzer from high school.
First down.
That's the
First down guy.
Guy got
First down.
a Permanis deal out of that.
Did he really?
Guy
There he is,
got a-
right here.
Guy got a Permanis.
See?
That's
First down.
awesome.
We need him.
There he is, first down.
Yeah, let him make every call.
Everyone.
What are we doing?
First down.
How has that not already happened? That guy commanded that field. And that's what you need out of a Whitecap. I mean, legitimately. AJ, we're 4 minutes away from Patrick Mahomes joining us. I'm pretty pumped up about it.
Pretty pumped up.
Is he back in KC? Well, I mean, it's been a whirlwind for that guy.
Yeah, we have no idea. I'm pretty pumped to see what he looks like. Because I saw a lot of the clips from Sports Center. Sounds like, looks like. I mean, if I was him, I would not be able to survive right now. I just won my third Super
That parade was electric that he was at. I saw the clip I saw from Disneyland or World, whichever one.
Yeah, I mean,
Here we go.
you talk about
Hey,
box
guys.
office. This guy's with Mickey and Minnie in a parade every other year. And this is what the next 15 years look like, AJ? We started the show pretty much talking about how big of a bummer it is that we are currently in the Patrick Mahomes era. Now, I'm going to let him know that I'm not exactly thrilled that he's only 28 years old. And maybe with modern science in technology and how he takes care of himself with his body guru, this guy could play for another 20 years.
Could.
Okay, maybe he plays till he's 48 years old. There's been a 50-year-old football player before.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes, maybe he's a guy that in this modern era, all he cares about is ball and winning. He plays for another 20 years. We got to live with this guy. Do you know that, AJ? Has that really crossed your mind? It crossed our mind earlier. We were talking about our teams. I'm like, you know what? I hope AR's the guy. And I'm like, is AR going to be able to beat Patrick Mahomes? And it's like, I hope. I don't know. And then you start talking about other teams. Miami Dolphins go, Tua. Tua's going to be our quarterback for the next 10 years. They're going to pay him a lot of money. Is Tua going to be able to beat that guy? That dude had a game-tying drive and a game-winning drive, both in the Super Bowl, both when he needed it. It's like, that's what he does. And that's what we're staring down for the next decade and a half, AJ.
Yeah, but I think we're going to see, like, we're at the point where, especially teams in the AFC, no question, but I think throughout the league, like, you're going to have to find a way. We need to build a roster that has the ability to beat the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes, because he's not going anywhere. Like you said, he's 28, already has 3 rings, and he's not slowing down anytime soon.
Ultimate team sport football. Obviously, you need a lot of people to do their jobs for everybody else to be able to succeed. We agree. But there's only been a couple people in the history of the game where they've said, that dude's winning today. Like, Tom Brady's not going to lose today. Mm-hmm. And it's like he plays one position out of 22 on the field. And there's so much other things that have to go right. And it's like there's just like a mana almost about some of these. And by some of them, I mean what?
Yeah.
3 in the history?
Yeah, exactly.
Joe, you throw Montana in there, I guess, because he had the same. I think it's like that dude's going to win. That guy's going to win whenever it matters. And we got to deal with it for 2 more decades. That's what we're staring down right now.
Well, the scariest part is the Brady and the New England Patriots had 10 years without one. They won 2004, 2014 without one. So, like, right now, if we're just thinking about where
Mahomes will this dude ever go 10 years?
My point exactly. Like, if you were to, if there was a bet right now, will the Chiefs win a Super Bowl in the next 10 years? It'd probably be minus 500.
There's precedent. There's precedent.
And he's
probably going to have better weapons next year, too.
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is the man who just dropped gloom and doom town on every city in the NFL this morning in our world. I assume he is living the high life because what he has done is unduplicable, incomparable.
What?
A true phenom. The only man in the NFL's history in his first 7 seasons, only played 6, to have 3 world championships and 2 MVPs. An absolute stud, ladies and gentlemen. Quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs. Back-to-back Super Bowl champ right now, Patrick Mahomes.
Hey, Patrick!
What's up? What's up? How we doing?
How are you doing, dude? We saw you in SportsCenter yesterday. Obviously, the internet had their jokes about the good time that you had out there. How has life been the last 48 hours? Have you been enjoying this thing?
Oh, 100% been enjoying it. I'll tell you what, though, it's a little bit earlier mornings when you have kids after winning the Super Bowl. So those long nights, they come fast when that morning comes. So, no, definitely enjoying it. But we're champs again, man.
Hell yeah, you are. And they released the footage of you after the last play. Whenever you throw the touchdown to McCole Hardman, you're mic'd up and you're screaming, "We're world champs, we're world champs." And then you make that run and then you roll on the ground. Is it like that moment right there? And that feeling is what you do everything for? Is that how you would describe your drive and your passion?
Yeah, 100%. I think the biggest thing is you don't even know how to even explain how you're feeling. That's why I was just running. I didn't even know where I was running to. I was just trying to enjoy the moment with my guys and the battle through the adversity we battled through this year. It was special to get that win on that stage and to do it with those guys.
Pat, on that 3rd and 1 in overtime where I think you ran for like 19 yards, you got inside the 15. At any point in that run, did you think, hey, I'm going to score here. This is going to be a walk-off to end the Super Bowl? Because as a fan watching, I thought for a split second, this guy's he's going to run this thing in.
That actually happens a lot during the game. There's always those times where I run, I'm like, I'm going to score. And usually right when I think it, I get tackled, like every single time. And that was the same moment. I kind of split through. But I have no top end speed, so once I got through the first line of defense, man, I was just kind of stuck. So if I would have had to walk off, man, I don't even know what I would have done. But I was glad that we got my guy McCole in on it. He deserved it for sure.
I love the fact you always talk shit about your speed. You know, he's got a little bit of speed. I got a little bit of speed. But it appears as if every time you need it, you have it. And your arm is obviously absurd. It feels like the way people talk about you is a once-in-a-lifetime type athlete. You know, we were just chatting about it before you got on here, where there's only been a few guys in the history of the NFL because there's 22 people on the field, and obviously so much is dependent upon what everybody else is doing for every player to have success, where people look at you in like the first quarter and they go, 15's not losing today. Like, Patrick Mahomes is not going to lose. Third quarter, I think everybody on the group text was like, okay, Patrick Mahomes is going to win this game. Mm-hmm. Why do you think people view you that way? And is there like a zone that you get into that we all see happening? Like, do you acknowledge that and feel that whenever you get going in your competitiveness?
I don't know if you call it a zone, but at the end of the games, I feel very calm, man. I'm used to being there at this point, and Coach Reed prepares us to be in those moments. And I have a lot of guys I can rely on when you have 8-7 running across the field and can get him the football and he gets 30, or throw a short pass and we're able to get extra yards. It's just all about doing the process of it, not making it too big of a moment. I know is I'm a competitor and I want to win, and it's not like I try to do anything special. I just go out there and try to win, and we've won more than we lost, and we've been on a heck of a run.
You talked about the drama this year. Obviously, it continued into the Super Bowl. Travis Kelce attacked Andy Reid.
Whoa.
He crow-hopped, punched him right in the face. Just right in the face, right on the sideline, middle of the game. We obviously saw earlier in the year where we thought that ref was maybe going to get a piece of Patrick Mahomes. Travis Kelce had the moment where he threw his helmet. It felt like this year everybody was doubting the Chiefs. It felt like maybe even inside you guys were wondering or maybe having a little frustration on why the Chiefs aren't playing Chiefs football. Was there a moment where you guys realized like the Chiefs is still the Chiefs? Was there ever a moment of doubt or question about your team and ending up as a Super Bowl champion this year?
I don't think there was a moment of doubt. I definitely think there were some trying times where we were really trying to battle through adversity. But we knew we still could win the AFC West, and we always thought if we got in the tournament, we had a chance to go out there and win it all. And that last Cincinnati game that we played, and we kind of got the offense moving at least a little bit. And then honestly, for me, the energy that we had that game that all the starters didn't play, that kind of showed me, like, let's just have fun, man. Let's enjoy it. If we're going to go down, let's go down playing it the way the Kansas City Chiefs play. And we carried that momentum into the playoffs. And we did have some wild moments throughout the year, but I think that's just age. You know, all of us are getting a little older. When you're a little older, you know how it is, man. You got to let it out sometimes. You can't bottle up all that emotion.
Yeah, we got kids. You know what I mean? You got kids now. There's maybe some sleepless evenings. You get a call that has been called 11 times in the history of the game or something to change it. I appreciated watching you get a little fiery because we assume, you know, because you're like the most likable superstar that there's been. You enjoy ketchup, that quarterback series.
So good.
The wrong ketchup.
You were you need to start. Heinz ketchup is obviously, you know.
I'm not a Hunt's or Heinz guy. Just ketchup in general, man. I'm everything right now.
I respect
right
that.
Now.
I respect that. Quarterback, you're drinking Coors Lights, you're talking shit like you seem to be, you know, like the coolest dude of all time. So whenever we see that dog mentality and the fire come out, I want to let you know we loved it. We appreciated it. I also appreciated the evolution in your game. You talked about it, I think, in one of your press conferences. About halfway through the year, you had to realize that Spag's defense is a real deal. Like, hey, maybe I don't need to risk it right now. Maybe we just need to punt and let our defense do a thing. When do you start acknowledging that? What do you think that did for your game as a whole? And is that's clearly the best defense that you've had since you've gotten to the NFL?
Oh, 100%. I mean, I honestly think that defense is still underrated, man. If you look at the teams that they played and the way they were able to shut down some great offenses, I mean, that's going to be one of the best postseason runs, at least, that defense has ever had. And I think I realized after that Raiders game, whenever the Raiders only completed 2 passes or something like that in the second half, and we lost the game because of the offense, I was like, man, I got to stop putting us in bad situations. And I'm as aggressive as anybody, and I want to make plays all the time. And but you have to find ways to win with whatever team that you have. And for us, that was letting the offense go in the second half or the first half, whatever it was, putting up enough points and letting defense shut the door. They did it all year long, and they really were the reason that we won that Super Bowl.
Well, I mean, you had a game time
almost
drive.
400 total yards.
Yeah,
Harrison Butker from 70, you know, all that works too.
Hey, he slipped and fell, hit that ball fat, hit it from 57, longest field goal in the history. Did you see his stats? They're putting, obviously you experience his stats. This dude's unreal. Look at this, 44-46 on the year, 15-15, 40+, 7-7, 40. Obviously, 2 field goals from 50+ in the Super Bowl. Absolute weapon. He had a game-winning field goal last Super Bowl, game-tying Super Bowl this Super Bowl. Absolute weapon for you, Patrick. And Tommy Townsend's a dog as well. Your specialists are dogs.
Oh, 100%. Coach Tobe does a great job over there, Dave Tobe. He's been mentioned at head coaching interviews along his time in his career in Kansas City. They do a great job. Coach Reed's all about it, man. He wants specialists that can go out there and change the game, and that's what we have. And I don't talk to Harrison all year long, man. I just let him do his thing. But I know if I can just cross that 40, man, if I cross that 40, he's gonna put it through there. So I know if you saw in the game, I got a little pressure to throw it short and knew Harrison was going to knock it through.
Don't talk to him. Go say hello.
It's not like in the lunchroom. You say hi in the lunchroom?
No, we sit right beside each other in team meeting, and I don't say one word to him, only before the season and after the season. That's the only time I talk to him.
Smart. Hey, it's working.
Yep.
Hey, it is absolutely working. Go ahead, AJ.
Pat, what changed for you guys offensively from the first to the second half? Like in the first half, they seem to do a good job kind of trying to contain you in the pocket and making everything pretty tough for you offensively. What did you guys do at halftime, and how did you come out on fire in the second half?
Honestly, I think they had a great game plan. Their linebackers were making an impact. They were really kind of taking out all those short intermediate game that we had kind of been living on throughout the playoffs. And so I think we just got back to having some shot plays downfield, and then I had to know at the quarterback position, if it's not there, to throw it underneath to guys like Pacheco or Travis or whoever that is, and let them run with the football and make plays happen. That was kind of the biggest difference. And then I think at halftime, the guys just talked and said, let's just be us, man. Kind of like I was talking about in that Chargers game. I said, if we're going to go down, let's have fun. Let's try to put on a show. Let's play hard and just see what happens. And that's what the guys did. And I think the biggest drive, I think, wasn't for the offense. It was when after that interception, the defense got that quick 3 and out and got the ball right back to us. That kind of kept the momentum kind of in the balance, and it took everybody, man. And the offense got it going there late. And then their D-line, I think, got a little tired because we had the ball a little bit longer, and we were able to get the ball down the field.
Momentum's real?
Oh, momentum's for sure real. I mean, I've always believed that. I know some people don't believe it, and I think it can flip just like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we watched it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've actually watched it happen numerous times, especially with you at quarterback. You talked about some of the guys talking at halftime saying, hey, let's do us, let's have fun. We also heard about the speeches the night before. They're saying like Travis Kelce gave like one of the greatest speeches of all time. Who are the speakers? I assume you are also a guy that is talking to the team. And when does Andy Reid, does he tell you like 2 days in advance, hey, you're going to speak? Or how does it kind of go over there with you guys in the team?
Yeah, no, Coach Reid actually told us a couple days in advance. We didn't actually talk to each other at all. We just kind of all had our own speeches. It was me, Chris Jones, and Trav. Chris started it off. Chris's speech was amazing, man. It was really cool to see. I mean, he's always the funny guy that enjoys life, but he was real serious, and he kept it light, but he really got the team going. Then Trav went, I mean, pure emotion. You can't fake the amount of emotion that man has. And like you said, had people tearing up, and then I have to go last. I'm like, man, how do I even follow that? But I try to do my best, man. But it's I wasn't as emotional as he was, but I mean, it was. I just kind of told the guys, man, we're here for a reason. I mean, we are here for a reason. Let's go out there and maximize our opportunity. You never know when you're going to get back.
What does Andy Reid do, like, offensively that makes you two the perfect fit? You know, because he answered the question yesterday about, like, everybody's asking me about retirement. Why don't you ask Belichick or Pete Carroll about retirement? I guess I'm the old guy. Why do you think you two are so good for each other, you and Andy Reid?
I think the biggest thing with Coach Reid, man, is he lets me be me. I could have went to a lot of different organizations, and I think they would have tried to make me play the quarterback position in a different type of way. And I think he just let me be me out there on the football field. It doesn't always look pretty. It's always a little bit different. But he can teach the fundamentals. He can get the best out of me, and then he continues to push me to be even better. And that's special, man. I think that's why we can have such personalities on this team. But whenever we're in the building, we're all about winning and however it takes to win. And I think that speaks to Coach Reid and the culture that he's built.
How about the plays, too? You know, do you think about how pumped he was whenever he found out you were his quarterback? Mm-hmm. He's like, man, I can just get this guy to run back 40 yards. And he'll just throw it 90 yards that way. You do some quick math. We're plus 50 right there. Boom. It is absurd watching you play football. You know that. You're Madden. You're a video game quarterback.
Oh, man, I try to be. You know, I don't say I'm a quarterback, man. I say I'm just a football player. I'm someone that just goes out there and just has to find a way to win the game, competitor. And I'll throw it sidearm, I'll throw it left-handed, I'll throw it underhand, whatever it takes to get the ball in the end zone.
You did a shot put in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
That shot put.
Hey, man, I know it didn't get to the line of scrimmage, but I thought Noah was close enough.
Yeah.
I thought he was close enough for them to not be intentional grounding, but it all worked out. We're
Hey,
all right.
Gene Steratore was on your side. Yeah, I think he was in the proximity there. I mean, we're in the Super Bowl here. Feels like a good play. You might as well have it. D-But's got a question for you, Patrick.
Hey, speaking of good plays, and Patrick, we talked about it yesterday, your performance in the second halves and specifically Super Bowls. And these plays, whether it's Tommy, Jerry Wright, Corn Dog, Wasp, how hard is it, number one, to sit on those plays until those gotta-have-it moments? And then what is it like when you have that interaction with Andy, you know that play is calling, you feel great about it?
Honestly, I'm always trusting the Coach Reed, man. He makes those perfect time calls right when we need them, and we have open communication the entire game about it. And that Tom and Jerry play, we had talked about, we had worked on. It was like the last play that we had put in the offense during Super Bowl week. We actually didn't even have it in at the very beginning of the week, and so for him to sit on that play until that moment, and then even more than that, I mean, sorry for my language, to have the balls to call that play in that moment. I mean, it speaks to him, man. I mean, it speaks to him that he calls those kind of, I don't want to call them trick plays, but those very specific plays and big moments, and has the trust in us to go out there and make it happen.
Hey, do you see yourself? You watch us do this one? This one here?
Oh, yeah. I have to put the pressure on him. I want to get that huddle going, man. Just let's go.
Your hand gets going like 600 beats a second, potentially. Yep. I mean, and if it's a bad play, too, that's some bitches. Come on. Need the next one. We need, the tongue chewing on it. We are ready to go. I love it. Hey, Pat, you're a phenom, dude. And it has to suck to have everybody say that to you. But you just won your third Super Bowl, so accept the compliment. We appreciate you in football, dude.
Hell yeah.
Legit. It sucks.
I appreciate you.
It sucks, though. We had this conversation this morning. I'm a Colts fan, obviously. There's a Steelers fan in here. There's a Dolphins fan in here. There's Lions fans in here. There's so many different Patriots fans in here. It's like, are you retired? So you said, I think when you got in, you said, I want 4 Super Bowls, right? So you already got 3. You get one more, then you're out? You're done? Is that what we're thinking?
No, I'm not gonna be done playing anytime soon. I want my son to be able to grow up in the locker room like I grew up. So
how old
still
your
got
son?
a lot of life left. He's 1 year old, just turned 1 in November.
Got a little bit.
I'm gonna
Go.
work on getting this 3-peat, man, with no 3-peat ever. So we're working on that now.
Okay, so I heard you guys talk about that. You and Travis. I think you guys were with Boom and Boog on NFL Primetime after the game. Thank you for stopping by there. Obviously, Berman's a legend, and we love Boog as well. The conversation, though, Travis, I think, said, after we won the first one, we had a conversation about how there's a lot of teams that just won 1 Super Bowl and then kind of disappeared. You guys had your eyes on Dynasty immediately almost. Is that goal coming into NFL? When does that become like reality? Like, hey, there's only been one team that's really been able to accomplish what we want to accomplish. That's the Patriots for the last 20 years. Are you comparing yourselves to them? Are you kind of like keeping a score as if like at this stage of their dynasty, we did this? And when did that become like the focal point for you?
I'm gonna throw our PR guy under the bus a little bit. I messed up. He said not messed up, but he told me not to say it again. In my first year starting, I said Dynasty, and he did not like that I said that. And so I brought it back up to him after the game. I said, remember when I said it that first year starting? We got something going now. No, it's something that I don't know if I'm necessarily chasing like one team or one thing. I just want to make my stamp on the game, and I think we want to make our stamp on the game as Kansas City Chiefs. And in order to do that, you have to be great year in and year out. I mean, you're not always going to win the Super Bowl. We're going to try to, but you're not always going to. But you want to make sure that you give everything you have to give yourself the best opportunity. Then you can live with what happens. And we've won 3. We still got a lot of young players. If we can keep Trav and Coach Reed around even longer, I think we'll have a chance to, as good a chance as anybody, to keep winning them.
I mean, I just learned this. Of course, you called it dynasty after first year as Patrick Mahomes.
Nuts.
This sucks that you know what I mean? The Colts, you want to get traded to the Colts? I'm going to call Veach tomorrow. What a dog, dude. Connor has a question for you, pal.
Yeah, Patrick, we talked to Tom Brady 2 weeks ago, and we asked him about the whole conversation now where it's, how close is Patrick Mahomes to Tom Brady? And actually this morning, this is a new one, haven't seen it. Is Patrick Mahomes closer to Tom Brady than LeBron James is to Michael Jordan? That's going to be every morning for the
Sports media, baby.
Probably for the rest of your life, honestly. But how do you feel when you see those things? Is that something that you hate? Do you love it, obviously, because you're being compared to Tom Brady, and if you're being compared to him, that means you're winning Super Bowls? Or is this one of those things like you kind of just mentioned, you just want to be, the Patrick Mahomes of the NFL, not being compared to another guy?
I mean, I like it because I mean he's the greatest of all time, so I like being compared to him. But I still have so long that I have to go in my career. If you look at the longevity, the consistent greatness that he had every single year, all I can do is just try to continue to be the best me every single day that I have and have no regrets. And I actually heard Tom say this a while back, and that was his goal, was just to be the best version of Tom Brady that he can be. And all that other stuff kind of happens. All that other stuff kind of comes with it if you continue to work hard and continue to get great teammates around you. But I've been blessed, man. I've been blessed to be in a great organization with great players. And if I can just continue to work the way that I work, I'll have no regrets about however my career ends.
So still very motivated. You know, they say it's hard to wake up and fight whenever you're waking up in satin sheets. We saw that new house you built. Whoa. How nice is that house? At par 3. I got a sky cam on that thing. They got a full drone shot. You got a par 3 in there, football field. Do you see the spread? Hoop. Oh, my God. Oh, it is so nice. So now it's just chasing a legacy, huh? How are you?
Yeah, no. Yeah, you know, we got the house, got the family, you know, just trying to enjoy it, man. I mean, we are chasing a legacy. We're trying to do whatever we can to be the best we can be. But I think the biggest thing for me is just enjoying it day by day, man. I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed with a lot of things in life.
Yeah, you're fantastic at what you do. Pretty girl's got a mom that's a Sports Illustrated swimsuit model.
Yep.
And a dad that's already being talked about as the greatest of all time. Hey, I can't wait to see you be president, sir. I can't wait to see you probably be president of the United States.
Kelsey and Mahomes, baby. Kelsey and Mahomes. We're coming in once we're done with football.
I love that. Tone Diggs got a question for you, Pat.
Yeah, Pat. I've noticed, or I think a lot of people have noticed, I think you rushed for almost 70 yards on Sunday. You rushed for 50, I think, in last year's Super Bowl, and you generally rush for more in the playoffs. Is that like a conscious effort where it's just you're not as worried about getting hurt in the playoffs because it's the playoffs, or is that just a natural thing that comes to you? And if you thought, if I do this in the regular season, you could probably rush for 1,200 and throw for 5,000?
Here we go.
Is that something we're thinking about, or?
It might be a little too late in my career to get those rushing yards like that, but it honestly is a conscious thing that I know that I'm not going to slide as much in the postseason. I'm going to try to get those extra yards because every drive means so much more. And I always joke around, but I am a little bit fast. I can kind of make some stuff happen out there. And that's stuff that I work on. I feel like I'm more athletic now than I've ever been, and I think that just comes with the work that I put in.
Okay, so let's not talk about the athleticism. Let's talk about that big brain underneath that hair that you still have. Happy you didn't cut it. Hey, good news.
Good move.
Hey, it's gone this offseason. I promise y'all. It's gone. I almost did it today, and just came on today with it. But I got to do something.
I would have been devastated.
Yeah.
You go back-to-back Super Bowls with that hair, and then you're trying to go for a three-peat, and you just change the whole hairstyle. We don't believe in any stitchings.
I got a 3-year-old at home. I can't just keep the mohawk going. I got to at least change it up a little bit.
After you go you win 4 straight.
After.
You know, now's not the time. Didn't you grow up in baseball? That seems like.
I know. That's the only reason I didn't do it last year. Now I'm in the same predicament, man. God, man.
Oh, yeah, man. It's got to win another Super Bowl, I guess. Go ahead, AJ.
Hey, I know you're a vet of these Super Bowl parades. What's the plan for this year? Obviously, now you know the lay of the land. You know what it's going to be like. How excited are you to get out there with your teammates and coaches?
And tarp off, huh? Tarp off?
Yeah, I might have to bring the dad bod out. It was a bad angle. But bad angle in the locker room, so I might bring it back out. No, I'm for sure going to have a few Coors lattes. I'm gonna have a good time with my teammates. I know the parade route now, but I enjoy it every time, man. There's nothing better than that Super Bowl parade, and Kansas City always shows up and shows out.
Sterling is absolutely beautiful. How old is she?
I appreciate it. She turns 3 on February 20th, so we're right around the corner.
Hey, happy birthday. Can't hear us. Say happy birthday. You're the best. Patrick, enjoy life, man. We're very bummed that you don't play for our team, but we've all enjoyed watching you play football. 202 million people watched that game, they said. Did you see that?
Yeah, they said more than the moon landing, man. So, I mean, the most viewed thing on television.
So we definitely went to the moon.
I'm like 50-50. We've been there. I believe that we have, but there is some evidence out there that makes me at least think about it. I'll say it that way.
Hey, you're allowed to have an open mind. Don't let anybody tell you anything different. You're Patrick Mahomes.
Amen.
Do what you got to do. Keep crushing it. We're very thankful you're a part of our league. You're going to end up making over $1 billion with NFL contracts, and your business sense and savviness is fantastic as well. Keep crushing it, pal.
Appreciate you. Sterling says thanks as well.
Hey, no problem. She got a pencil. She's writing down plays. Ladies and gentlemen, Patrick Mahomes. Thank you, buddy.
Patrick.
You worried about the AFC?
chance.
We're cooked.
We're dead.
I'm just glad I
Absolutely
had
cooked.
Patriots had
Unless he cuts his hair.
Yeah, what's he even?
That was foolish.
Yeah.
I know that he's not going to do that. Travis is not going to let him do that.
There's no. He sits down. There's no way he sits down and says, "Yup, do it."
Yep, just won
unless
two Super Bowls.
parade day. Might have
Oh,
a
it
couple
gets all
course
boozed up.
They
lattes.
do it there. Then that might be the only way to beat the possible jinx is doing it in front of the city of Kansas City.
See, I think we're screwed still there because Tom changed his hair and face a few times and still won Super
All
Bowl.
right.
No. Tony, you son of a bitch.
Tony.
He did have many different
No,
hair.
it's facial hair. Facial hair.
Oh,
Hey, did you hear the Chris? Speaking. Thank you, Patrick, for joining us.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Beast.
Just brings his daughter in. See how calm she was, by the way.
Yeah.
I can't believe you guys got another superstar quarterback to come on here and tout conspiracy theories.
Shut up, Nick.
On a Tuesday. On a Tuesday.
The moon landing.
Nick, don't. I mean, I feel like that might have slipped by Axelrod. I thought that might have slipped by over there.
Not just slipped by
Oh,
that.
Axelrod. I'm 50-50 on it. As soon as I heard that, I'm like, well, here we go.
Uh-oh.
Here
That
we
was
go.
awesome.
He said there is some evidence, that goes into it even more. He's a human. What is wrong with this guy?
Nothing.
What is wrong with this guy?
Absolutely nothing.
That sucks for every other team. Man. Thanks for stopping by, Patrick, ruining our life. Feels like when C.J. Stroud comes by, it's like, okay, who's the guy?
Yeah.
He's in the Anthony Richardson, same thing. No, he's not. Nobody is.
Might be.
We're back tomorrow. I mean, I'm pretty bummed out. See you then. Jesus. I mean, I'm bummed about what just happened right there. He was too normal, was he not?
He's a guy. He is a guy.
Coors lattes, he's saying?
Yeah. Yeah, if I were
Guy's
you
going to
guys.
be boozed up tomorrow.
Dude, he's 28 years old.
You guys got to be so bummed.
Taking team-friendly deals.
What do you mean you guys?
Not even renegotiate. Like,
Yeah.
they've told him, like, numerous times, like, you are certainly worth about 15 to 20 million more per year. We'll deal with that later. Okay. Okay, thanks. I'm happy we'll deal with that later. Why does everybody do that at the quarterback position? Oh, we need to tie this thing up. We only got a minute 46 left. Okay, no problem. Oh, we need to go win this one. Okay, we can tie it, send this to double overtime. The entire internet will lose its shit because Sean McManus did his thing. Or you can just say, fuck it, and go win the game. Oh, I'm going to go do that, actually. This dude is a weapon, bro. Absolute weapon. How long can he remain a human, you think?
If he obviously is still very much a human and a relatable person. So I would imagine he's going to run. Yeah, this is him. This is who he is.
We're fucked.
Yeah, I think like that generation, like Lamar is kind of the same way. I mean, granted, obviously Lamar hasn't had the Super Bowls, but like Lamar hasn't changed. He's been the same.
They're not scared to be real. It's cool. They're not scared to be real, even though you are
CJ's
international superstar.
Yeah. CJ's talking shit on Burt Kreischer, literally. In the middle of that.
Josh Allen.
That was great.
That was great.
What did he say? What he smells in here?
He called him a muscle hamster or something like that. Hey, how many push-ups do you think this guy do? 3.5?
Yeah.
CJ said.
He's our push-up.
Then each one, he's like, he's not going all the way
He
up.
said he wants some dose stories. I'm here for C4, man. What are we even talking about? Like the way, and that was kind of what Nick Caserio said. He said, like, the thing we liked most about CJ is CJ was always CJ. Like, there was we put him in some tough moments in front of all of our personnel. He's the exact same person. Like, think about Patrick Mahomes in front of he's always the same guy. Shotgun and beers with Luke Combs. That video obviously will hit the internet every once in a while. He's got some nice bootcut jeans on with some cowboy boots up there. Then he'll obviously golf out at the American Century Championship out at Lake Tahoe.
Whatever.
And he'll have some booze and some pops. Like, he's a human, too. He's old school while being the greatest of all time now in 2024. It's like, why does this happen? You know, why?
Yeah.
How does this exist? How does this guy?
Who is the next? Now we're going to say, like, who is the next Patrick Mahomes?
There's too many distractions. There's too many opportunities outside the field. There's too many reasons to have an ego for Patrick Mahomes to exist at this exact time. So none of it makes sense, but we appreciate that alien joining us and seemingly being the most human and relatable superstar that we've talked to in some time.
That's why, like, the next conversation about Mahomes is weird because, like, the NIL has changed the next generation already. Like, Patrick Mahomes wasn't in the NIL generation. He was before it. So, like, does that affect how these quarterbacks come in? Because, like, obviously you're coming in as a quarterback top pick. You've been the man your whole life, of course. But now all these guys coming in who are the top picks, they're millionaires already.
We will support Patrick Mahomes because he's about to carry the league on his back to the biggest it's ever been. You know, like The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin and D-Generation X put the WWF on its back and made it this multi-billion-dollar global. There's obviously wrestlers before them that have done a lot. Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, Ric Flair. There's Bruno Sammartino, Pittsburgh Bison legend. I mean, there's a lot of, but like what The Rock, Stone Cold, and DX did was just take it to the world. It's like what Patrick Mahomes is about to do with the NFL. In Lamar, in Josh, in Joey B, in CJ Stroud, in this crew, Anthony Richardson, and this crew. Like what they're about to do for the game. I mean, just a game in Brazil is happening week 1. It's about to become the global, just dominant sport, and we got the right guys to be carrying the torch, it feels like.
Yeah, we do. Remember the time when we were saying, like, oh, what are we going to do when the Tom Brady, the Peyton Manning, and Drew Brees, and all these guys are out of the league? Who's the next star? Who's going to be there? Like, I think time has proven there are. We have the stars in waiting, and we have a guy like Patrick Mahomes, which we thought, I don't know, did we think anyone would have 3 Super Bowl rings like this early? There's no way.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
We got him.
We got him.
I mean, and those are the top guys. Like Brock Purdy's the last pick of the draft, and he's the top 10 quarterback. So, like, even if you look at those type of players, that we have no idea. I mean, shit, the best quarterback in next year's draft could be a 3rd-round pick. Yeah, and we have no idea until
but
a year from
remember,
now.
During the draft spectacular, we got to act like.
Oh no, whoever the Patriots pick is going to win the next 10 Super Bowls.
That's the next CJ Stroud.
Yeah, no. Please, that's the next Patrick Mahomes, brother. We're looking at
CJ might be the next Patrick.
No, sorry. CJ had his chance.
Kansas City was Kansas City.
Had his chance. Yeah, Stroud had his chance. This was his year to
gone.
prove it.
Rookie year.
It's over. He had his chance.
His rookie year.
What Mahomes do his first year starting? Won the MVP. Stroud didn't. So sorry.
No, his first year he didn't play.
Yeah, I know. First year starting, but still, either way.
I did see you add that caveat. What did Mahomes do in his first year playing the games?
Playing football games
in the NFL.
50 touchdowns.
Yeah, he went for it.
Yeah, Stroud did it.
How about him saying after the first year, I'm looking to build a dynasty here, and PR guys like, hey, Patrick, let's not put that much pressure on yourself, okay? He's like, get used to the pressure, pal. Okay, I'm your quarterback now. Let's go ahead and move on. Dude called it dynasty.
Yeah.
And here they are.
Sick.
We didn't even ask about Taylor. What are we doing? Are we doing sports?
Oh, boy.
That's not his business.
You're right.
Who all performed at the post celebration? Post Malone,
Chainsmokers,
Diplo.
Yep.
The Chainsmokers?
Yeah, Chainsmokers.
They got a good gig.
Nice.
Chainsmokers got a
David
good gig.
Travis are pretty tight, I think.
Jason performed it a little bit before he hit that tree.
Kelsey.
Well, he was good sell. He was luchador. It was a good sell.
Right? He had a week. Maybe the greatest playoff run of all time by Jason Kelsey.
Congrats to him. He won a Super Bowl.
Yes.
Yeah, he did.
Jason Kelsey won Super Bowl. We're proud of him. All right, let's get to a break. Hour 3 will be on the other side. We got PK Subban joining us talking about hockey. What the hell's going on in hockey?
Oilers lost.
People are not happy.
Guys are taking slappers on empty nets with 10 seconds left in the game.
Oh, I saw that cross-check to the face immediately after the clapper on the empty net.
Get what you deserve.
The Battle of Ontario.
I saw Reeves come out and say, this younger generation of hockey kids are playing a different sport.
Yeah.
They don't even know what this is. You take a clapper into an empty net, you're going to get cross-checked in the face.
Can't be hot dogging out there.
It was also, the clapper was only 73 miles per hour, so
well,
I afraid 105, let me remind you.
Wouldn't stick.
Wasn't barely a clapper at all, to be honest.
Is that like an unwritten rule?
Yeah, you can't be taking slappers at an empty net on a breakaway, D-Butch.
Can't.
Especially in the Battle of Ontario.
That's like Zion dunking at the end of the game with the clock running down against the Suns.
Windmill,
yeah.
Exactly.
All right, we'll see what PK has to say, because our Canadians saying this is big no-no.
Bush League.
Yeah.
Gumps, how's it going, pal?
It's a good spot. I like it. It's good to be here.
It's good.
You look good.
Good time.
AJ can notice it all the way from Ohio. He does look good, doesn't he?
He looks great. I think D-Butt looks good there in Ty's spot. But yeah, Conman, that is your best shirt of the year, by the way.
Yeah,
see, that's crazy.
Best shirt of the year.
That's a phenomenal
this year,
shirt.
this year, or back to September.
I think it is.
What about when he dumped his pants?
This whole football season. Yeah, it's like a flamingo, but it's like a mushroom. It's like a bunch of things at once.
No, it's just a flamingo.
And actually,
It's a
the camera
great
doesn't
color.
do it justice.
I can't believe this is the real. I mean, I'm going to be completely honest.
This is an
It's
off-season
actually
turn for him.
fucking pissing me off.
It
really is.
This is like your
Best one
last
by
pick.
far.
I
It's
can
very
feel it.
groovy,
I can
brother.
feel it.
Shoot pissing me off because I walked into this fucking office at least 10 times, like best shirt by far. by far. I mean,
Yeah, you peacock over
The
there.
one time only once when everyone was watching that video and I was like, "Hey, fuckers, look at the shirt." That was only the one time.
Look at me.
I've only done the look at me one time, and then I walk in here just with an off-season flamingo, and people are fucking 6 to midnight.
Good shirt.
It's just
Dude, you never know what's going to go. It doesn't matter.
I guess. What's the point anymore?
Bro, if you're trying to bunt, and the ball accidentally goes out of the park, who cares?
I guess. I mean,
you want to mail this one in
you
on
should wear
off-season shirt?
off-season
We
shirts.
love it.
No. I wore it with the idea, hey, people are going to like this shirt, but I did not expect, hey, this is the best fucking shirt you've had.
Way to go, bud. Even your 7th rounders are.
I guess.
Guy can't miss.
You got Mr. Irrelevant on your chest right now.
To be fair, this is from a new batch. This wasn't like a, hey, I don't have to wear this in the season.
We can tell.
Thank you.
We like the new
I'm
batch.
excited to see the rest of the batch.
Yesterday was also part of the new batch. You guys also love that one. I mean, fuck!
What, dude? What is wrong?
Why couldn't these come in last week? Or
Your
the week
Super Bowl
before
shirts
that?
were phenomenal.
They were.
This doesn't take
Not as
anything
good
away
as that
from your
shirt.
Super
Not as
Bowl
good as
shirt.
that
I don't
shirt,
need
but
you
yeah, they were
guys to tell
good.
me that.
Well, he's
I
getting
know.
better every day, AJ, of course.
Yeah, that's the goal. But still, fucking A. I mean,
Good shirt, dude.
thank you. You know what? I'm
Good
glad
shirt,
that we're
dude.
having this. Thank you. I'm going
Great
to.
shirt.
Thank
Groovy
you.
shirt, brother.
Thank
Hey,
you.
sweet flamingo shirt, dude.
Thank you.
Brother, I'd like you to honor us honoring your shirt, brother.
Brother,
Thank you.
Much mana from that
Brother,
shirt
lots
to
of
me, which I
kind
appreciate.
words for your shirt, brother.
Thank you, brothers. I am trying to get to the point where I am going to start next football season. Day 1, September 5th, when we kick off.
That shirt.
This will be the shirt.
Whoa, that's quite a high start.
Whoa.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought you were supposed to get better as the year goes on.
No, not
You
next year.
can't get any better after that.
Not next year. You have to keep in mind, my football season this year was 2 weeks. So I have to wear the shirts that I'm going to want to wear for the Patriots early.
The draft season came quick for the New England Patriots.
Bingo. Draft season was at the end of September. I mean, fuck. I'm so glad we're done with this year. I'm so happy I can look forward to an actual team that could be good.
After that conversation with Patrick Mahomes, I think draft season's potentially for the next decade.
But that's fine. That's completely fine.
Anthony Richardson's the guy.
It's got to be.
Yes.
Things you go back. I mean, things can happen. That was the only worry I have though, is that the football era for quarterbacks between 2004 and 2014 is a lot different than what it is today.
That was legitimately like the worst weapons
Good point.
Mahomes has ever had this year. And they had their worst season this year. And they won the Super Bowl.
3 seed.
Let's get to a break.
Mike has hair.
We're fucked, dude.
No, it'll be all right. Something always happens.
On the road, had to win on the road too. People didn't think that could happen.
Travis might get married and retire this year.
Joey B is kind of their kryptonite a little bit.
Yeah.
He's healthy.
No Joey B.
He hasn't been healthy.
Yeah.
And T. Higgins is leaving. They're saying T. Higgins actually might go to Jacksonville.
They're saying franchise tag, aren't they? T. Higgins?
Oh, I don't know. Because I thought people were saying
All
that
these
might
big
be.
wide receivers, everybody's saying franchise tag.
What's
That's
that
what they're saying
Makes
now.
sense.
That's
Is
what they're saying
Jawan
now.
Jennings a free agent too?
That dude
I
would have won
want
an
that.
MVP.
What a throw! What
That
a
guy
throw as
blocked
he's
his
getting
ass
blasted.
off.
How about Tony Romo saying and Jim going, it took a long time to get, it was a 50-yard,
Yeah.
what are we, that's a bomb.
Well, Tony
Perfect
would've-
strike too. That's very dangerous to throw.
Bro, the field is very wide. People, obviously it is longer than it is wide. Of course, it's a rectangle, not a square, but like, this is like a 47-yard ball. That's a
With
hog.
the guy barreling down on
He
him.
was a 4-star quarterback coming out of high school.
It took a long time to get there. It's like, no shit. It's
Saw he did that in college. You guys see the side by side
Yeah.
when he did
Yeah.
this in college? Pretty
For
sweet.
Tennessee.
taking
That was
a
off his
huge
back foot
shot.
too.
Great block by 7-4.
And then Christian McCaffrey hits that 7th gear. It's
Out.
Fast.
gone.
And then they stop running the ball to start the second half.
Then he catches a touchdown, right? Becomes the first guy. Did Nick Foles not throw one?
So
No, yeah, he's the
when
No.
after Jennings threw the touchdown pass, I took Jennings to win MVP plus 10,000 because I was like, if he gets in now, he might win it. That game ends. In
He would've
regulation.
won it.
He had
That
another
game ends
touchdown
in
too.
regulation.
Chris
He
Jones
would've-
ruined it.
He would have won it.
Dude, it's plus 10,000 after he threw that pass.
Hey, great game, Juwan Jennings. Great year.
Great year.
good year, Jawan.
Great blocker.
He only had 19 catches, I think, through the season, is what everybody said. Then the biggest moment, he became the guy.
Mr. Third Down.
Yeah, third and Jennings they were calling.
Yep.
I don't know if that number was right. Also, yesterday I said all-female flyover. That was last year.
That's okay.
Still happy.
Still cool to acknowledge it.
Still honored him. Still honored
I'm
him.
glad we acknowledge it.
It was all men this year.
I forgot about it last year. so-
Probably all women flyover. I don't know if you can say female anymore.
Sorry, what?
That's just what I heard.
D-But don't do this.
Just, hey,
Mahomes
I'm
just
going
did
off
the whole
internet.
moon landing thing.
All right.
Okay.
What'd I say?
You said female, all female flyover. That may be offensive to some. All women.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, there's
told you
men
that?
still in the women. There. Is it because there's male in there?
Nah, I don't think so. I'm just.
Well, should we research it during the break?
Yeah, we'll make sure we don't offend anybody. With anything we say.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like that one's going to piss me off trying to remember, but I will if that's going to make people happy.
Can you say girls or ladies?
No.
Hey, I mean, you're at the point where you draw your line. I'm saying female. I'm drawing my fucking line. I'm sorry. I'm not doing this. I'm not dancing to the music of these other people anymore. I'm fucking done with it.
Hell yeah,
Who are the people? Who's the people?
You know exactly who they are. It's not them.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Kid.
Dude, that Smack Fest.
Oh.
Yeah.
That sound was phenomenal.
It was.
It was absurd.
How would you feel going out for that? You know, like if you're a UFC fighter,
They
like,
were
maybe
juiced,
I'm gonna
dude.
try not to eat a bunch of shots, but you know,
We
I'm
walked
getting smacked and knocked
They
out.
were walking right by us
Not
on
only
the way out. It
that,
was
we walked by
electric.
them in the hallway.
Yeah.
What was their demeanor like? Were they?
Right
I would.
here.
I'd be struggling.
Yeah, they're ready.
Right here. This is
Juiced.
I'm getting knocked out. Like that, you're walking onto a stage to get knocked out.
Chance.
Tell you what, in that crowd, I felt Southside circa 2008. You had to be, if you bumped a shoulder, just be prepared that there was a knuckles coming behind it.
Yeah.
The one dude.
Southside is Pittsburgh, which they had the most
Where Aaron
bars.
Donald saved some kid, right?
There you go.
Yeah. In doing so, he had to throw a couple other, but that's Southside. That's what it used to be.
Bingo.
That's what it felt
That's
like.
what that crowd was.
I mean, the guy who was fighting, that was stopping, that lost to Manuel or Munez or whoever it was who didn't have the purple hair. He was going ballistic in the line, walking out as they're filming him. He went like, yeah, like towards us, and Tony like almost fucking.
I almost slapped him and knocked him out, and then I would have had to face the champion.
You would not have knocked that guy out.
He lost, so
Well, he's
have I
clubbing.
lost?
He's clubbing.
Have I lost and slapped?
So it was a five-rounder. It was a five-rounder. And I think old buddy who was undefeated, the dude who had tattoos on his head and face from North Dakota wearing clean Air Force Ones.
Mm-hmm.
He was peacocking around. Dana expected him to win. I believe he was favored to win.
Showman.
I think he realized in the first two smacks, oh, no, I don't know if I got it with this guy.
Yeah.
Guy had purple hair. So not a bad technique, I guess, for the third one. Use a club.
Yeah.
Knock him out cold.
Smart.
Then all of a sudden, old buddy gets two shots back. There's a little bit of head game there.
Oh.
Yeah, because you got
Two shots back if you palm strike him.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they answer the bell.
Also, the time of it. Like, old buddy from North Dakota was going on 3, so he had like the 1, 2, 3. Other guy, purple hair, was going on 1.
He went one on the first one.
On the first one, yeah.
He
there it is.
He was
changed it.
flinching too.
Going on what?
Yeah, he was moving his head.
Yeah.
Moving his head like this. You can't do that.
And he
You can't do that.
trying to cheat.
How do
A
you
lot of
decide-
nuances.
How do you decide?
Do they
who goes
brace or
first?
do they go limp?
So you got to
how do
hold.
you do it?
You got to hold a stick behind you. From what I realized, I didn't read the rule book, but I was there pretty close. And you got to lock into a spot.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like, and then you tell the ref how many attempts you're. I think 3 is probably the max.
That's usually.
With a measure or something too. So like the first one, you're allowed to like gauge it, and they're like right hand 3. So then it's literally 1, 2, and on the third one,
Everyone's
boom, we're coming. But your face, you're not allowed to move it. I don't think you're allowed to change planes.
or do.
You're not allowed to move at all. You have to stay as still as
You
possible.
can't like go with it too. You can't go early with it.
No, because if you flinch, another shot, I think.
Yeah,
So, I mean, there's
yeah.
some.
And did you know that Bill is Slap's biggest fan?
I heard he was chanting alongside the.
He knew all
Oh,
the
yeah.
names. He knew every rule.
Walkout songs.
Bill.
Knew it all.
How do you
not
decide who
shocked
goes
to
first?
hear that.
He
Hold up a
was.
coin?
This
He
guy
was
from North Dakota.
and
He's the fucking weapon.
incredibly
Look out.
annoying during that.
Well, he was saying his heroes. What do you? Hey, Bill.
Yes, sir.
Hey, so what's the flinching rule? They're not allowed to move how many inches? Because the North Dakota guy did have his head budging a little bit, but what if he is literally incapable of standing still? There
So-
are some people that are not capable of standing still.
It's kind of a judgment thing. Like, you can kind of like brace a little bit, but you can't like ride with the slap or like move where the contact is supposed to happen.
So the ref is actually judging whether or not there was fuckery happening.
The ref and then the Nevada Gaming Commission, as we saw with that one clubbing rule.
That's a lot.
Who's your favorite slap artist?
It has to be Emmanuel No Love Munez.
That's the purple hair guy.
Yes, yeah. I mean, he's an absolute monster.
So you've known him through the ranks of this?
So Foxy and I, as long as we've been watching, he's been on every single one of these.
Oh, yeah.
Foxy, you're.
Foxy, excuse me?
Yeah.
Foxy what?
Yeah, I remember
slap,
Dana
man.
came on and he promoted them, so I watched the first 2 or 3 of them. So that
4
guy,
or 5.
yeah,
Rumble now, right?
that
No
guy's
love
been
for
on them,
Mojo.
and then I think the Big Oos was also
Yeah.
has been there since the beginning,
What's
if I
his name?
remember correctly.
He was heavyweight, super
Yes.
heavyweight.
He got punched in the face.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
He
there's
got
weight
plucked.
classes.
So at the beginning, winning the coin toss was everything. Because if you win, you get the first smack. Usually you win. I don't know how they decided who got to smack first in this one. Was there a coin
Had
toss?
to been.
I assume the champ maybe though.
Yeah, exactly.
goes first, right?
I think it's
Probably go
different
first.
now.
That shit
Huge
was
advantage.
wild, though.
Nuts.
I feel like I've been to a lot of things in a lot of different countries, seen a lot of things, been very fortunate and lucky to be like, yeah, I'll go check that out. Yeah, I'll go check that out. The Slap Fest, that thing was different than anything.
Well,
I
that's what I was
ever-
saying. Seeding was how you get slapped first.
I'm
Okay.
intrigued. I want to
Yep.
go now.
Yeah,
I
I would
love
go.
it.
I would go again
Yeah.
for sure.
I got to
It
go
was
at least once.
electric.
It's like going to the Sphere. Going to U2 at the Sphere. You got to see it once, right? It's
I'd go again.
This is 10 million times better than you
Let's
two
not
at
go
the
into
Sphere.
it.
Dog, we
I'm
already have an
sorry.
article or 10.
Yeah.
To be fair,
Chris Fowler's not happy with you, Foxy.
Power
No.
slap in the Sphere would be awesome, by the way.
Oh, my, with the
yeah.
seats.
Yeah.
Fowler's never seen power
Those seats
slap.
rumbled what twice during the entire show. That was a good use of those.
Well, and they were very. All right, let's get to a break.
We
We'll
need
be back.
WWE at the Sphere. ASAP.
I will assume that will take place.
Yeah.
Need Diplo at the Sphere. Anyone.
Bingo. Yeah, we need like a Vici at the
Usher,
Sphere.
yes.
Avicii.
I think
Yep.
Tim's dead.
Bring him up.
Well,
but maybe alive.
No,
You
no,
think?
he's alive.
Do you think?
Can you imagine Michael Jackson back in the day at the Sphere?
Coldplay,
That was a weird way for him to die.
Exactly. Too weird.
Dave Matthews,
A glass bottle.
Prince.
DMB.
Cut himself.
DMB
He
would
used
put,
him-
DMB
cut
would
himself.
put up. AJ and I were actually talking about DMB would
Oh,
put down
my
a
goodness.
show at the Sphere.
Oh.
Especially the vibes. It just feels
Yeah.
like the vibes there would be good. Literally anybody. I mean, we're starting to think.
Anybody.
ZBB.
Yeah.
Kygo.
Zach Brown Band in there.
Oh.
Imagine Kenny Chesney getting to use that entire place.
Blake Shelton.
We'd be on
That
the
crowd
Blake
would be
Shelton
horny as hell.
uses
Oh
the
my
big
God.
board.
Blake Shelton
Yeah.
on that thing.
He uses just a smaller version of that on every single one of his shows.
Imagine
if
old
he
Red
fucking-
running around.
People are
Theater.
telling us that we should have known those songs. We were there. We did.
I like you too. I know you too.
No chance.
Nobody knows those fucking songs.
I will say during the sing-along scene, that wasn't a big give and take.
No.
You know, there were certainly the U2 truthers in there. That
Down
were,
in the pit.
In a
I thought
little
they were
while.
piping it in, maybe. I thought they might have been piping it in through those special speakers.
he would
Honestly.
do.
I could have seen that.
When he had the phone.
I was like, bro, I want to go with you. I don't know what the fuck you're doing. Hey,
He should have flown out on that balloon. What happened there?
Chris Fowler texted me and said, "You guys are so funny. The song isn't even called Hello, Hello.
It basically
Right.
is.
It's called."
What is it?
He said,
Vertigo.
"It's called Vertigo." Yeah.
Yeah.
He said, "You guys should play
it's a great
Hello,
song.
Hello."
We know,
It's not
Chris,
even the name
we
of the song.
know. We know. It's
No, I
Vertigo.
did not know. I learned from that text message. I had no clue. I'm a casual. Okay, I only know a couple of U2 songs. I apologize. I was going to the Sphere during Super Bowl week, and U2 was the show of choice. Wanted to go see Portrait of Earth or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. That's what really pissed me off about you two is that they ruined our next fucking night going to see it.
It was tough to rally the group after that first show to go back.
I think
a
they
lot of
lost
energy.
me with all the words at the second song.
Well, yeah, those
A lot of
those
negative
are
words.
I'm glad they stopped.
That was a lot.
In a little while, it was
Orgasm
good.
popped up.
I was getting hit.
Different words.
Orgasm was maybe the only positive
She's
word.
out, right?
Yeah, it was. It was like the only positive word I feel like that we saw pop up to the 16 trillion words that were up there.
There you
Yeah,
are.
I couldn't even look at that.
Yeah, that was.
It's on
very-
160 milligrams. Just like, what?
Stop! Stop, please!
This guy trying to is this guy hypnotizing me? And then it's
And
like
then Chris Rock, too.
And then I'm like,
How
all
about
right,
that?
here's
Oh,
a game.
Chris
Yeah, it was his
Rock.
birthday. And then
He
it was
was
like,
not there.
I was trying to memorize the words. I'm like, all right, this is a game. Okay, this has to be a
He's going
sentence.
to quiz you at the end. He's going to ask you at the end. You got to repeat it.
Boom. That's what I thought.
Baseline.
I'm like, I'm gonna get this motherfucker, and I'm like starting to pay. I'm like, at first, I'm just getting like fucking boom, bang, boom with these words, and I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
all right, I'm gonna memorize these goddamn words. So I started like looking at them. I'm like, come on, Pat, let's see if we still got it or not. There's literally 1,000 words.
So many.
And I was paying attention to every single one. I was trying to piece them together. Didn't feel like any rhyme or reason. Like there was no story being
No.
told.
No.
And they were almost all negative.
Oh, yeah.
Almost
All of them
of
negative.
them were
Some
negative.
some numbers in there too.
Brainwashed.
Which ones?
Bad ones.
Whoa.
Bad number. Like
Six-
what?
sixes.
What numbers?
Sixes.
Sixes were in there. Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Not the ranch in
I saw
Texas.
Cult in there a few times.
Some shit in there.
Yeah, I thought it was being brainwashed, so I looked away.
Is this David Koresh? What?
Back in the day, that's how they activated KGB.
I said, "You're not
Warriors.
fucking getting me tonight."
What do you mean back in the day?
Let's go to a break.
MK Ultra.
Still
maybe,
happening.
Maybe everybody else
Yeah.
gets hypnotized at the beginning, so whenever they leave, they go, "Yeah, good concert," and we were just all too high and drunk.
We were all smart enough not.
It's a good chance.
Yeah, we were just too
There's
dumb.
a good chance.
We were too dumb. That was terrible.
Yeah.
Everybody was like,
Doesn't make
"It's
sense, man.
Great. All right.
Doesn't make sense. Like it truly doesn't.
The crowd was not into it like I thought they would.
Well, we were all a bunch of casuals. I think that
They
was
didn't play the hits.
Too many casual Super Bowl crowd wasn't the right crowd.
Once again,
You're right.
if
They
they
weren't-
played
they weren't horny
hello,
enough.
hello to
Wasn't
start.
a-
Penny
crowd.
Chesney said that you can tell sometimes when a crowd's all horned up.
Mm-hmm.
And those crowds, you did.
Oh, that picture of you that popped up at the Sphere is amazing. You'll see it. Whoever took it, you just sitting there looking at the screen.
Oh, I'm so pumped.
AQ.
Yeah, so confused.
Phil and AQ did have a good time with my reactions. There's a couple times where I was like really trying to pay attention, just trying to figure out how this is what we got to. Like, how is this the decision for it? And Dana kind of told me that this is going to happen.
5%.
Yeah. Yeah. I was flustered.
I love this picture.
So good.
You were hypnotized.
Oh boy.
I was trying my best, wasn't I? I mean, I
But
was
see, look at the guys next to us. They're talking to each other. They don't give a fuck
Yeah.
either because they're not playing any good music.
We were paying attention.
Yeah, I believe this is from Phil. Here, this photo is from Phil. Yeah. He was.
We gave it a shot.
Phil
We were
turned
locked
around,
in.
Phil turned around and looked at me at one point and just started laughing in my face. And I was like, okay, I'm happy to know that my face is
Reflecting
exactly what's going on in my brain. And then AQ started slapping me at one point because I was like having a full conversation with myself. Like, what are we doing? And AQ got it on film, the whole thing. So it almost, I became like a zoo creature in there.
Yeah.
So I moved to the back, like maybe I'm missing it. In the back, you don't even get to see the.
No, you don't see anything.
You don't even get to see. We're not going to continue to talk about U2, okay? Because there's a lot of passionate U2 fans out there. We want to let you know we wanted to become ones of them.
Yes.
We wanted to join you guys.
And the next residency, whoever it is, we'll have to go and we'll judge it as accordingly.
Yeah, we will.
And
Dead and company.
we are doofuses. We're not necessarily the people you want to be the fans. The same thing that you're fans of as well, especially if you feel like you have good opinions, right?
Yes. And again, I like you too. I know a lot. I know north of 10 songs. Actually know them.
You know Ariel? You know Ariel's?
No.
That's it. Isn't that?
That's System of a Down, Tony.
Come on, you down with the sickness.
That's Disturbed.
Ariel's. That's.
Yeah, Bruce had that much fun.
Matt Brown, Bruce slept through the entirety of
Turns out
the
there
Didn't
was
miss
an
a
actual
thing.
zoo animal in.
Because he came so hard when the seat was vibrating, he went to sleep after.
Yes, he did.
No, it was. I thought I was going to have a seizure during all the words, and I said I got to close my eyes here, and then I woke up 2 hours later.
I hypnotized.
Well, these words are freaking me out. Oh my god. I'm starting to overthink this a little bit. Maybe having a seizure. Let me go ahead and close. He actually did get hypnotized.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got you.
We got to be careful of him going forward now because of that hypnotism.
All right, let's get to a break. The Sphere is awesome.
The Sphere itself
It's
is
sick.
it's like the first ever modern day Marvel that I've experienced.
I think that's probably a good way to describe it. Because it's just 8K LED boards.
So sick.
1,000 of them.
I have no idea how you build that. I have no idea how they afforded it. The architecture, how did they make it round without it being square?
Bingo.
Like, all of it makes no sense, especially with how high def it is, 8K up in the top. Like you can see, they had a bird flying in this cathedral at one point. It's like insane what you can do with it. We just can't wait to see who else does what with it. That's all we're saying.
Yes.
Right, Gump?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother.
Maybe Hootie and
Insects.
Blowfish in there.
Get
There's
Hootie in there.
insects popping up. Remember, insects would
I
pop
like
up, and we
that.
would call them out. Oh, butterfly. Oh, there's a
Ladybug.
lizard. Yeah.
Yeah, there was that one song that really attracted the insects. There's butterflies everywhere.
Yeah, that one
The ceiling was coming down at one point.
That
That
was
was
cool.
pretty cool.
Yeah,
The
that
walls
was
were
cool.
coming in.
Part, yeah.
Love
Yeah, except
that.
we all saw that on social media, and that was the one part we knew
I
was
didn't
going to
know
happen.
I didn't know.
Oh, okay, cool.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
All right.
Zito just told me that thing cost $2.3 billion to build.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good deal.
They're building more, I think.
Yeah, they're
More
it's not-
spheres.
It's not the first one.
What?
I believe there is one in Dubai, I want to say.
Some other country. Yeah.
Yeah, this isn't the first sphere.
It's the biggest one.
No.
Oh shit.
Or maybe it is.
I
I don't
bet
know
it is. I
the
bet it is.
dibs on
Does
every
U2
sphere.
only perform at the Spheres?
I don't know. I think U2 stopped performing years ago, and whoever we saw on that stage was just
All right.
a bunch of people that look like U2.
All right, PK Subban will join us on the other side and talk a little hockey. We appreciate the hell out of you for allowing us to do this for a living. And if you love U2 and deep cuts, I think that thing would be for you.
Yeah.
Deep cuts.
Deep cuts.
We're just not the right crew.
No.
So that's on us. We would recommend the Sphere 10 times out of 10, though.
Yeah.
And the DJ beforehand.
Awesome. Awesome.
DJ
Killed it.
He was killing it.
He was on.
I think I said at one point, it's like, if this is what the show is, this is great. The dude was just playing the hits.
Yeah, if they put graphics up
with the DJ,
it would
3 hours.
I'm there the whole time, loving it.
Bruce isn't sleeping.
No.
But that's more about us than everybody else. We'll be back on the other side with PK Subban talking hockey as we wrap up this glorious Phenom Tuesday. Patrick Mahomes on the program.
Yeah,
That's
cool.
crazy. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change your life. Take 5.
What an honor. What a dream. Being a part of game day was a joke. Being on the field for this is a joke. We continue to live the dumbest life of all time.
What a time to be alive. Let's enjoy the hell out of this weekend in 2023.
We are live from an empty Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
All the off-season workouts, all the sickness, all the puking, all the commitment, all the dedication. We got 4 teams left, Coach. What's the vibe of that locker room getting ready for this game?
We're going to swing as hard as we can in this game, and CJ's our leader, and he's going to lead the way.
Hell yeah. Yeah, we're going to try to make the most dumb television on earth this evening live from this field right here in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Darius Butler, 9-year NFL vet, played at UConn. That team stinks, but they're coming back. Stanford Steve here. And this man right here, wearing a Wolf t-shirt underneath a sport coat. He works for me full-time. But what are you excited about this evening, Connor?
I mean, Pat, like you said, I have the IQ of a goldfish, so I'm not really taking all this in strictly because there's so much. The moment is huge.
You know where you make your money, and this college level is the red area. Georgia #1, 120 is where Ohio State is ranked, which is nuts.
Max Duggan is a dog.
Let Duggan cook.
Connor, good job,
Darius.
How are you boys? Kirk, we say dumb stuff on the internet every day.
You guys be out there, Coach.
See if they can cover him.
In the boots.
They're on you guys.
Connor, you're on ESPN.
How about it?
How about it?
Didn't say fuck, didn't say shit. I was close, but I didn't do it.
That's a win. That's a win.
He's electric. Look at this. Look at this.
Hey, Coach, I don't know if you headbutted one of your guys or not, but
Cut yourself shape.
you are awesome.
I got a 6-year-old son, man. I mean, it's
They're going to have to rely upon those dogs. Cade Stover, the tight end for Ohio State.
Yeah, number 8.
He's like 4th-generation farmer. Sponsored by John Deere.
Yeah.
Okay, and they don't just put that deer on anybody.
Hey.
Yes. There's going to be billionaires barking. Okay, there's going to be billionaires barking. Grown folks in khakis barking in unison.
Wow. So much to learn. That's got to become a thing next year. No, I'm serious. This stuff. Can't do that.
Yeah, that was great.
You all right? You all right? You all right? Help him up. Help him up. Spill anything? Nope. You spilled your phone. Could have been worse. Could have been much worse.
The college football playoffs are about to kick off in Phoenix, Arizona. My name is Peyton Manning. That's an Ohio fucking wet dream, not just a dream, dude. AJ Hawk. Did you see A.Q. Shipley stacked on top of Cube, on top of Cole? I feel a shot coming. Sound like Taylor. Oh, I told you! I gotta go. To the bathroom? Let's go, baby. Wait a minute. Congratulations. And the encore this evening is the reigning, defending, undisputed national champions in a home bout against the Ohio State Buckeyes. I'm joined by Darius J. Butler. Then we have the face of Ohio State, AJ Hawk, Boston Connor, Kai Schmidt. And AJ drove down here in a Sprinter van. His son puked twice on the way down here. Broken iPad. Had the windows bashed in this morning. Just on the streets of Atlanta here. If Ohio State loses, would you jot this down as the worst trip of all time for you and your
We
family?
love adversity, Pat. We love adversity in Ohio.
In the end zone, Marvin!
Oh, Marvin!
It is So loud.
You can't hear a thing. Marvin Harrison Jr. ran how many routes, Connor?
I think he had a post, then he had a corner, then he had another post in the end zone.
Tough to guard. Might see everything.
This guy is all about ball. He is all business.
All ball, all the time.
Tunnel screen.
Looks like he's about 7'9", 550. He looks 2 feet bigger than everyone else out there.
D-Butt, look at this dog. Look at this dog.
Look at him.
Look at him. One-on-one over there. Oh!
Grab that thing. Touch the ball, touch the ball, touch the ball.
We'll throw back to ref. Get that.
Throw that thing, sling that thing. Hey, good by his ball.
Let me punch it. Wow. What a run. Uh-oh. Again. Two tight ends, deep shot. He's got him.
Are we live right now? And that's the way the cookie crumbles. Hey!
Fours up, put your fours up. Oh, it's coming right to me. Short. That's short.
Any thought of like a fake punt direct snap here, Pat?
That would be awesome. There it is. There it is. Time.
They call timeout. What happened?
The timeout on the fake punt in the fourth quarter is being described by a lot of people as maybe the greatest timeout in the history of college football.
We've had 2 punts faked on us this year. We are very aware and know that people are going to try to steal possessions.
Connor, what quarter is it?
I believe, Pat, if I check my left hand, it is the fourth quarter.
Snap down, hold good. Kick is.
Looks good. Get it, catch it. Yeah.
Well, I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge your great catch under the goalpost. I want you to know when I saw you make that, I thought for a second, is he going to return it? I had visions of kick 6 when you caught that ball, so don't do that to us anymore. But
Jackson takes a shot to the corner. And if you didn't know who we were before our show, yes, every day it is somehow this time. Wow, what a game. Let's put on a great performance. It was a good time, man. From all of us to all of you, Happy New Year. Enjoy the hell out of your evening.
Hey.
Why?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Sport! Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Phenom Tuesday, February 13th, 2024. Hour 3 of the program starts now. Sports! Our fantastic...
Nice.
Didn't get it. That's all me.
That's
Sport. We already flipped to sports. Man, it's sad. Sad day.
It is.
Should have texted you. Sorry.
My bad.
It's on all of us. We're all kind of reeling.
In mourning.
Yeah.
There it is.
With a U in there. Yeah. Like Alonzo.
U.
Yeah, because we are kind of mourning the end of a great football season that saw Patrick Mahomes and Chiefs champs again.
That's right.
Congrats to Michigan Wolverines winning a national championship.
Congrats, Michigan.
Congrats.
Congrats to football. Over here.
Great year of football. Record breaking.
Historic.
Historic
year. And now, Combine's in a couple weeks. AJ, the NBA's happening.
All-Star game this weekend.
That's going to be fun here in Indianapolis. Stars are coming out. Adam Silver will be live in the Thunderdome tomorrow.
Yep, what?
Excited to learn about that whole thing. Let's
go.
The Talks the Table is here at Boston Connor. And then instead of Ty Schmidt, at Darius J. Butler.
Here we go.
One half of the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys Tone Diggs is here. The other half of the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys Bubblegum Pino is here.
They've got
Good day, everybody.
I said good day.
I say good day.
And joining us from Canada, Pierce.
Whoa.
Is the man who's going to educate us on everything that's happening around the NHL, including some controversy.
Ooh.
Somebody caught a cross-check right to the mouth. Ladies and gentlemen, this man played in the NHL for
14 years.
Stud. Friend of the program, PK Subban.
Yeah, PK! Yes.
All right, here we go.
Whoa.
What's up, boys? Are we getting back in the league, huh? We taking care of the body?
Hart show?
Yeah, what's going on?
It's taking care of the body. Today's just the maintenance day. Box today. Worked out this morning. I always finish off my work day with a nice Epsom salt bath. So this is where I'm at right now.
Okay, yeah, it appears. Yep, you definitely are. You definitely
I got
are.
some candles. I got some candles lit too. I got a couple candles in here. It's just a decompression.
Okay. Is that it's hot Epsom salt, obviously, right? You wouldn't put Epsom salt in a cold tub.
No, it would be hot. It's warm. You know, with all the my body being banged up from playing and all. It's better warm. I always find the warm therapy helps my body out a lot, especially the hips. I got to keep the hips loose now, Pat. Right?
Yeah,
So
of course, especially with life, with what you're doing now, got to keep the hips. Yeah. Okay. So it's not like Kevin Hart, because it's hot, AJ. You said it was cold. It's a hot tub, clearly, AJ.
Cold tub show. You're right. Yeah, that's my bad.
Yeah, it's hot as balls. It's not cold as balls.
Put some green alcohol in there too.
What in
in the hot tub? Epsom
Green?
salt, green alcohol.
Really?
This is what I
Green or
use.
green?
Look at this, Pat.
Green?
I'm not getting paid for this, so I don't know. I'm not getting paid for this, but this is the Epsom salt. My sister
Too
made.
foggy.
And then look at this. I got my gallon aminos here. Like I'm dialed in, Pat.
Holy hell.
Dialed right in.
Is this life?
Yeah.
You do this you're like a Brecca guy?
Every day I'm up 6 a.m. I'm in the gym. I lift. I either walk on the treadmill for an hour, 4.5 miles. I box. And then I get a massage. And then it's Epsom salt bath. Then I get everything else done.
You get a massage
every day
of your life?
Day?
6 days a week. Yep.
Jeez.
Wow. Awesome. That's awesome. Good for you.
Crazy. You want to talk about taking care of the body? Come see me.
Yeah, and the mentals and the chickens.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, congratulations.
Hell yeah. Let's go.
6 days a week getting a massage.
Incredible.
That is.
Same person? Same masseuse?
Same masseuse. I don't change. Actually, I had a big transition because Yoshi was her name. She was my massage therapist my last 3 years when I played. Had her for 4 years. She retired at 50. God bless her. She was amazing. She was like a life coach, massage therapist, all in one. She was awesome.
Wow.
So I ended up getting a new one. She's great too. So I see her every day. She's awesome. Takes care of me. I'm good to go.
Hey, hell of a run by Yoshi. Yoshi.
Gonna miss you, Yoshi.
Congratulations, Yoshi.
Yeah, Yoshi had a hell of a run. Seriously.
He did.
The game's going to miss her. And congrats to the new massage therapist getting work 6 days a week from one person.
Wow.
That's phenomenal. PK, you getting back on the ice? Is that the thought, or is this just for life?
Absolutely not. Not getting back on the ice. I've been on the ice twice since I retired, and it was for the All-Star game. I've only put my skates on. Haven't even put my gear on. A part of that is because the first alumni game that I play in, I want to make sure that I can talk as much trash to everybody that I'm playing against to let them know that this is the first time I put my gear on, and I'll be exposing everybody on the ice. So I think is there like a period of time, like you got to go a couple years before you're allowed to play an alumni game, or can you go right into it?
Well, I don't know the rules, obviously. I'm just learning of the alumni game as we have this conversation. Are you in better shape now than you were when you were playing? Obviously, yes, right?
Different shape. I'm definitely stronger, I think. Just hockey, you got to be leaner, right? Like it's 82 games. As much as you got to be strong and explosive, you got to be able to last, right? So now I'm in the gym
6 days a week. This guy's getting a massage 6 days
Waking
a
up
week.
at 6.
How long?
To work
An
out.
hour long?
We do 90 minutes?
So 90 minutes. 90 minutes for my tissue. My tissue is way too dense.
Too much.
I need 90 minutes. And if I don't soak, if I don't get in the Epsom salt bath, there's no way anybody's getting into my tissue.
Yeah.
Not going to happen.
Of course. You got to keep those things pliable. You know, you got to keep that tissue pliable. Man, I have so many questions about how we got to this point. But, let's talk about hockey, because hockey is awesome. Hockey has afforded you the opportunity to get a massage 6 days a week as a retired player. You're living good. You deserve it all. PK, How about the cross-check to the mouth after a clapper on an empty net? Now, Reeves came out and obviously said this younger generation's playing a different sport pretty much than what hockey actually is. This was just a guaranteed reaction from somebody if it was to take place. And why did that other guy either do it or not expect it? What the hell's going on with hockey?
Well, I'm so happy you helped me. Ask me this because I want to get right into it. And here's what I think. First and foremost, let's talk about the player. So, to what Ryan Reeves said, I have to agree with it to a certain extent that the game has changed. The culture has changed. Like, if I would have done that my first year in the league, oh my goodness, against Boston or something like that, guys would have probably been over the bench. Like, guys would have jumped the bench. I would have been jumped for sure. There would have been purple drink all over the ice. It wouldn't have been good. Like, honestly, it wouldn't have been good at all. For this kid, it's a different game now. Nobody does that. But if you're Morgan Riley, this is what I'm going to say. First and foremost, if you don't want anybody doing anything like that, and it's the same thing that I said about the World Juniors when everybody was giving it to Team USA about their celebrating. If you don't want guys to celebrate, you don't want guys to get in the kitchen and stir the pot, well, you're the Toronto Maple Leafs. You guys got how many guys making $12 million a year? You guys are supposed to be a cup contending team. Don't let Ottawa tuck you in when you're fighting for your playoff spot. You're in a wild card race right now. Don't let Ottawa tuck you in. And Ottawa is letting you know it's the Battle of Ontario. Yeah, there's no respect on the ice. So I'm not surprised by what happened. I actually love that he took the opportunity to get in their kitchens. For Morgan Riley, I love the reaction. You got to react. But if you cross-check somebody in the head, you're getting suspended. Like, you can't do that in today's game. So, to me, I'm actually on both sides of it. I love what Ottawa did to get in the kitchens. I love the response from Toronto. You just can't cross-check somebody in the head. Just grab them, drop your gloves, beat the piss out of them, and then let it be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what it should be.
Yeah, there's different levels to punishment, I guess, on the ice from the boys, especially for over the years.
I would have jumped him for sure, though. He would have been jumped for sure.
Okay, all right. So PK says, love that you had the moxie to do it, okay? And if you don't want us dancing, don't let us in the end zone. That is literally a big time.
Oh, what would have made it even better is if the kid would have stuck his tongue out at Morgan Riley as he skated by him just to double down on it and let him know he's getting in his kitchen. Because think about it. You wind up and take a slap shot on an empty net. Like, obviously, he's not scared of anybody on that team. Like, that's what's crazy, right? Like, if I'm playing against Boston, who's got Chara, Lucci, Gregory Campbell, Benoit Pouliot, Sean Thornton, Zdeno Chara, Johnny Boychuk, McQuaid. Like, you got these killers. Nathan Horton, Mark Recchi at the top. Like, Jerome McGinley. Like, all those guys were on the same team. Dude, one of those guys is getting to me, and if one of them doesn't get to me, they're probably sharing the meat because they all want a pound of flesh for that. Hey. No one's standing for that. But I loved it. I loved the fact.
Share the meat.
I was so pumped.
Not that Drake.
So pumped.
Share the meat. Share the
meat.
Share the flesh.
So in all seriousness, Toronto's got to respond there, but I think that is a sign of the respect of what players are giving the Toronto Maple Leafs right now. Like, the Toronto Maple Leafs got to earn more respect than that, I think, with how they play the game, because that isn't so much about whether you have skill or talent or how good you are. It's about respecting your opponent and the way that you play. And I think that that's the game within the game. Unfortunately, I didn't watch that game, but I know battles, I know rivalry games, and playing for Montreal, Ottawa, in that Toronto bubble, those are heated rivalries. So this is all expected. And if you don't expect that, then that's the type of response that you're going to get, right? You got to expect that people are going to try to get in your kitchen.
Yeah, we love everybody that's traveling in and out of the kitchen.
Yep.
We like everybody trying to take a trip in there.
Dogs.
We like to answer. We like to respond. But you don't want them dancing. Don't let them score. Go ahead, AJ.
PK, wouldn't you have been more worried if Toronto did not respond? I know the cross-check to the head, that's not – you don't want to do that. But if Toronto just let them go on their way and finish the game, that would be a bigger worry, wouldn't it?
Well, if you want to talk about worried, if I'm a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, I'd just be worried about seeing that Florida Panthers team again, because I'm going to tell you, if you guys think that's crazy, what's going to happen when you play Florida in the playoffs is going to be 10 times worse than that. Those guys are pulling you into the alleyways. They're going to make it a dogfight. And by the way, You don't think they got skill? They got a 39-goal scorer in Sam Reinhart on that team. They got Kachuk. They got Verswaggy, Carter Verhaeghe, who can put the puck in the net. So they got skill. That's what I'm talking about. So yes, Toronto's got to respond, but, they got to get used to this happening. Like, this is going to happen more. It ain't going away. And, you can expect Ryan Reeves to go there and set the tone, but there's got to be team toughness too. Guys got to have each other's backs. And I think if you're a Leafs fan, there's a bright spot to that. To see Morgan Riley get fired up, it's okay. You lose him for a game, but that should galvanize their group to rally around this and say, hey, boys, we're not going to take this disrespect. We're going to run up the score on teams. We're going to let them know that they can't disrespect us, whether we're in our barn or not.
Yeah, we're going to start sharing the meat. Like we're going to
Yeah. 50-50.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, no, that kid, like if that was me, if I was Morgan Riley, my gloves would have been off. Like in my time, you got to drop your gloves there.
Yeah.
I would have dropped my gloves and grabbed them. But I'm a different player than Morgan, right? I'm not saying that he wouldn't drop his gloves. I'm just saying I would have. But guaranteed next game, and I can say this now, I'm not playing. Oh, that kid, if he ever came down my side the next game, he'd be getting a two-hander. Like, that kid would never be able to come down my side, probably for the rest of his career. Like, I'd be giving it to him.
For the rest of his career.
I
love everything about
it. I hold grudges on that. I don't take well to disrespect.
Well,
so
that's kind of hockey.
100%.
That's what I think the history of hockey is. That's why it's such a big deal. Speaking of hot hockey, D-But's got a question
And
for you.
Panthers don't take much disrespect either. Just beat the shit out of the Avalanche. I know we got the Pens tomorrow, actually. But are they the league's hottest team right now? Can I expect another title run? I know we fell short last year, but can we expect another title run?
Oh, man. And you're talking about Florida, right?
Oh, yeah.
Florida. I mean, the Devils. Okay, here's what I'll say about the East. Toronto's got to figure it out, and I think that they will. They got 30 games. There's lots of time left. They're sitting around, I think it's 60 points. They're kind of in a dogfight. They need to get out of that dogfight for the wild card race. Right now you got Philly, who's ahead of them, and Philly's playing a better team game right now than Toronto. So is Carolina. So is the teams ahead of them. So Toronto's got to figure that out.
Philly?
When I look at,
No.
oh, hell yeah.
Flyers?
Philly? Whoa.
The Philadelphia Flyers?
No way.
Hold on. Listen very carefully.
Roenick back?
Listen very carefully what I just said.
John LeClaire.
John Tortorella probably going to be coach of the year or up for it.
No.
Has these guys, are you nuts?
Torto?
If these guys make the 100%, he's in that conversation. Anybody who says that, I won't even sit down at a table with you and discuss hockey because you don't know what you're talking about. What this guy has done with that group in terms of their skill, talent, and youth is comparable to what Rick Tocchet's doing in Vancouver with a lot more talent, a lot more experience, all of that stuff. So, yes, John Tortorella's in that conversation. And Philly, as much as they go through adversity, they've had a number of things happen with their team. For John Tortorella to keep them on track and keep them focused and their bounce back, he's getting great goaltending now. He's getting it out of everyone. Penalty kill, goaltending. Guys are stepping up, scoring big goals. I like the way their team is playing, and I think they're playing a better team game than Toronto. I said at the start of the year, Toronto has relied heavily on their big guns, and those guys have showed up for him. Austin Matthews getting paid $15 million a year. Well, guess what? He's earned that money because every time they need a goal, Poppy shows up and he answers the bell. Their big guys answer it. But as a team, I like Philly's team game, and I don't see them slowing down any soon. So I see Florida definitely coming out of the. I would pick them coming out of the East right now.
Let's go.
Can New York beat them? Yes. Can Toronto beat them? I don't think Toronto's ready to handle those Panthers yet. Are the Devils in that conversation? Yes. But when it comes to the lineup experience, I think Florida's coming out of the East.
How's Gritty? That sleazy Gritty. Is he still
a scumbag?
He is?
Yeah.
All right. Didn't know what was going on. The Flyers are good at hockey, I just learned. Wow.
Me too.
What is this, 1970? Holy hell. The Flyers are good at hockey? Congrats.
Listen, and they're tough. They got some toughness on that team, too. They ain't soft. And you know Torts' style, man. It's hand-to-hand combat. You got to lay it on the line. He's got to move it in the right direction. It's a dogfight. Like, the NHL right now has so much parity It's a dogfight in both conferences. The wild card race, like these next 30 games are going to be exciting. Every game matters.
Let's go, Pens. Tongue Diggs has a question for you, PK.
Yeah, PK, I had a question. I'm not sure if you saw. We went to Vegas, and mostly Ty, ended the Oilers winning streak. I don't know if you saw that or not. You're welcome. Yep, you're welcome to everyone who didn't want that streak to be broken. Are the Oilers, are they the favorite out there? Is Vegas, the reigning Cup champs, the favorite out there? How do we feel about the West?
Okay, well, let's talk about that game. Jack Eichel didn't play. William Carrier didn't play. Theodore did not play. So what's the significance of those three players? Well, William Carrier might be their best player in their bottom six. Okay, I'll debate that, but he's been there a long time. He's got experience, plays a heavy game. Jack Eichel's their best forward. Theodore's their best defenseman. So they're missing three of their top players from that Stanley Cup run, right? And they go and they handle business against a team that won 16 straight games with the best player in the world playing at his best, who's opened up the game, scoring a goal. And I can't find fault with Edmonton's game. I thought they played great from their defense out. I even said it, Bouchard.
Yeah, but with Stoner and Ty Schmidt.
No chance.
Stoner and Ty. There's no way. I mean, Ty broke the siren.
Yep.
Think about that.
Listen to me. Vegas.
He was on his Zamboni.
With that sword?
For an entire.
He had a sword. Yeah. That night, beheaded another night.
I saw you guys. I saw that. I saw him on the horn. How bad did you want to do the horn, though, Pat?
Well,
how come you didn't get in on it?
Well, it turns out I actually, we told them I was doing it. And then, actually, Ty's going to be doing it. I'm a Pens fan. He can't see me. I had the jacket on. They were very hospitable. They were very, very nice, very, very kind. I appreciate the Golden Knights team a lot more than I appreciate the Pittsburgh Penguins team. That is a matter of fact. If I became a fan within the last couple of years, I would be a Golden Knights fan. But I grew up a Penguins fan, so there's no way in hell you're going to catch me. No way. Ty, though, has been a fan of the Golden Knights since the day the Knights were announced. So he might be their oldest fan, longest fan. First time in the barn, he was certainly going to, crank that thing. Yep. And he also got to ride the Zamboni.
Dude, he got to ride the Zamboni?
Yes, he did.
Look at the hats off.
Yep. Hold on. Yep.
Yep.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 of them things.
It's a lot of fist bumps.
Yep.
10 of them.
He was out there for 45 minutes.
Vegas, Vancouver, the only team, Colorado, Dallas is still there, Vancouver. It's going to be a lot more difficult in the Western Conference for Vegas, I think, this year than it was last year. But for them to beat Edmonton and handle Edmonton, missing those three guys, you got to think that you still got to beat them. And the X factor for me, Aiden Hill. Aiden Hill
stood on his head.
Absolutely
He's a dog.
Phenomenal in that game. And if he plays that way in the playoffs, the only goaltender that I can listen, Thatcher Demko's great, but he's never won a cup. I look at Edmonton's situation in goal. It's not the same as Aiden Hill. Even Colorado, I like Georgiev. He's still got to prove himself. Aiden Hill's won and has proven himself, and he's playing arguably better this year than he did last year. So I still think Vegas seemed to be
stood on his head against Edmonton. We watched it. He was
kicking him.
He was what?
He was kicking him, snapping the pads out.
Boom, boom, boom.
He was kicking him. Bang, bang, bang.
Pow. Oh. Look at you, a splash of water.
He's down in the butterfly.
So warm in there.
Yeah.
So steamy.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Awesome. You've been glistening the entire time. I looked at Nick sent me his standings here for the East.
Yeah.
Sure.
East.
Yeah. Good. Very good. I don't know.
Boy, the Penguins suck. What are we?
Your Pens are in one a little bit.
Yeah, it's over.
We have to win every game.
It's over.
But 16 and 20.
Yeah,
it's over.
I
They have
think
a winning record.
23-19.
It's over.
It's not fair. It's not fair. I don't want to hear anybody mention Sidney Crosby's name. It sucks because I really think that as a league, we need to see Pittsburgh in there. I want to see Sid in the playoffs every year. He's just that good, but it just doesn't look like it's going to happen. Like Washington, you got to watch out for Washington. The Islanders are moving. New Jersey just gets Jack Hughes back. Took him 2 games. You know, he scored his last goal 16. He's got a back-to-back game tonight.
Enough.
There's just too many teams that are competitive in front of Edmonton right now.
So what happens now?
Pittsburgh.
So what happens now? The Penguins suck.
Blow it up.
Then yeah, it's over.
Trade Crosby to Boston.
No.
Detroit. Trade him to Boston.
No,
it's
it's
over.
over. Is that what happens?
Yep.
If the Pens, it's over.
It's done.
No.
Could be Joe.
It's Sidney Crosby over.
Oh no!
Is that what it is? It's Sidney Crosby over.
It's whatever Crosby wants to do.
What do you mean?
If Sid wants them to blow it up and trade him, and he comes out and says it, they will do that. If he wants to stick around for a rebuild, they will do that. If he wants to keep going and they want to scratch and claw and throw everything they can, every future asset, every first-round pick to try and stay alive, they'll do that. It's all up to Sid.
It's Mario Lemieux over.
Yeah.
Good run, Sid.
Yammer Yago.
Hockey town over.
Ronnie Franco over.
Sidney Crosby.
You know, it sucks. It sucks for Sid because
It's over.
I think Sid could go to another team, obviously,
Boston.
and win a cup. I
Boston.
don't think he will. And I don't know that. I've never asked him. This is not a quote from Sid, but I just don't. I don't know. I don't think that he will go somewhere else and play. I really believe that he'll probably want to stay in Pittsburgh and figure it out there.
Yeah.
They do have still some pieces there. I really thought they were going to make a push this year. I'm not really too sure why they're in the situation that they're in, but it's too bad.
That's why you're saying.
Tristan Jarry.
That's exactly why.
What's that?
Tristan Jarry.
He was standing on his head earlier.
Tristan Jover, you mean?
I mean,
You guys Swiss cheese.
the
every
guy's
once in a
just not it. As long as he's been.
Hey, if it makes you guys
hasn't
feel, if it makes you guys feel better, we might be watching some hockey in Long Island this year. I think the Islanders could make a
That doesn't
playoff
make
push.
Why would that make me feel better?
Who cares?
It makes me feel better.
Congrats to the Borelli family. Okay, I'm happy for him. I'm happy for the people on Long Island. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Patrick Waugh is the coach there now.
Dog. Yes.
Dog.
I do hope they have success. You were talking about how good of a player Patrick Waugh was, weren't you, Derek?
Yeah, I loved
He was one.
Slapper.
He's a goalie.
Slapper?
The disrespect.
What about his wrist shot?
He kicked him out. He kicked him out.
Are you
Hey, I got three goalies. I got three goalies.
Carey Price.
Dominic Hasek,
Yep.
Yeah.
Great mug.
Great Buffalo Sabre.
Patrick Waugh, Marty Brodeur. Those are the three for me.
Tim Thomas.
Eddie the Eagle Belfour.
Tim Thomas. I'm not putting Tim Thomas.
Tommy Barrasso.
Ed Belfour.
I am so sick of you leaving Tom Barrasso's name off of that list. I can't take this anymore.
Tommy Barrasso. 2 cups in Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah.
You had 2?
Yeah,
91, 92.
allegedly nobody really enjoyed. Allegedly
Him
he
and
was
Ken
not
Reagan.
the nicest guy, but I mean guy could stop a puck.
He's an all ball.
Guys, you want a
Need to
puck
be a nice
stop?
guy.
You got to win one game. I want Dominic Hasek in the net.
Boom.
Period of the story.
Not over.
Him or
Marty
Grant
Brodeur.
Fuhrer.
What about Jim Craig?
Him or Grant Fuhrer. Grant Fuhrer.
Bro, Carey
Grant Fuhrer.
Price.
I mean, how do you not mention Grant Fuhrer's name in that conversation? Like, it's almost insulting of me not even to mention his name in the top 3.
It's probably
But I
Grant
was just
Furious.
I watched Hasek play. Dominic
Belfour.
Hasek is the guy I'm going.
Very athletic. Hasek.
Miracle on Ice, Jim Craig. I mean,
Marty.
what are we talking about here? That's
PK,
what
you
want
played
net.
with Carey Price.
It's Marty
Carey
Bro-
Price
it's
is
Marty
unbelievable.
Hold on, guys.
It's
guys,
Tommy
we're talking-
Barrasso. I'm sick of the convo.
Carey Price.
Marc-Andre
Carey Price-
Fleury in his prime.
Math, sure. Jonathan Quick.
Carey Price is there. Carey Price is in that conversation 100%. I mean, I
Thank
did
you.
that, but I picked 3 goaltenders that have Stanley Cups too. Like, I can't, you know what I mean? I mean, as much as Pricey loves me, if he says I'm the best defenseman ever, I think some people are going to look at him and say, hey, dude, like, you got other defensemen here who got crazy points, 8 Norrises, and Stanley Cups. Like, you got to put those guys first.
Hey, you
right?
gotta stop smoking that Epsom salt.
Yeah, this is bullshit.
People are starting to do that.
Well, this is the stuff I'm using. So if you don't like what I'm saying, don't use it.
I just to kind of put a whole, bow on this entire thing.
Yeah.
You're still in that hot tub right now. You're still in that.
Dude, I go 45 minutes, 45-minute minimum.
90-minute massage.
Minimum.
45-minute hot tub. Okay, that's
And then you
2
gotta
hours and
hydrate.
15 minutes out of
What
your day.
did you do when you were playing?
What do you do on the road? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I did this when I was playing too. Dude, that's what people don't understand. Everybody thinks being a pro athlete is like you show up in a nice suit, you drink a coffee, you jump out there and you play. Like, you got to get your body prepared, especially the way that I played. I wanted to kill everybody that came down my side. So I put my body on the line. You got to manage it. Epsom salt bath, massage, activation, deep core breathing, acupuncture stem, ART, all of that stuff, man. Come on, man.
TRT.
Yeah.
All right.
TRT.
Can we do some of the breathing right now? What do we do? You got to lead us.
Close your diaphragm. Close it. You got to close it, tuck it, and let that balloon expand. Now, release it all. I want your stomach to touch your spine when you release it. Pull that stomach all the way in.
Focus, AJ.
I just saw the
out of my nose or out of my mouth.
My spine.
In through your nose. One more time.
It's hard to breathe through my nose. I need one of those breathe right strips.
I'm Mucinex right now.
Now let it out.
We're doing box breathing.
Here's for the guys.
This sucks.
Don't be an asshole.
I'm gonna say this because I know I'm on national television. I can't.
You're not.
You gotta pull your buddies up as you do this. If you know what I mean, pull them up.
Your balls.
Right? You gotta pull them up. Yeah. Pull your.
How? Kegel.
You don't have to pull your meat up, but your two veg. Your two veg. Pull those up.
Just like Drake.
He was spinning it. He wasn't
Watch out.
pulling
Don't
it
be
up.
flopping that thing.
Now let it hang. Let it hang.
Oh.
Hang. Yeah.
There it is.
There you go, boys.
All right. That was good. First time we've ever been a part
How
of
much more
something
time
like
you
this.
got in there?
I got 5 more minutes. Remember, I got in here about 2:15, so I got about 4 minutes.
PK, you're 1-1, huh, pal?
1-1, dude. I'm all in. I'm just dialed into what I got to do. So I love coming on this show. Like, honestly, how does it feel, though? Like, you got your best show on TV right now for sports. You get to wear whatever you want, talk about whatever you want.
Yep.
You're doing it with your buddies.
Bud.
Like, what a treat.
Seriously.
We're very lucky. I mean, we're not the best and all that stuff, but we have a good time every day. Did not expect to be speaking to a naked PK Subban. I mean, that's something we
Well,
know.
you know what, Pat? Honestly, I pushed the envelope a little bit, and I got to be honest. I've never met you in person, so I can't say that we're friends, but I'm naked in an Epsom salt bath right now. This is the closest we've ever been, so I'd like to consider you at least acquaintance. You know, I'd like to at least be like, yeah, you know, Pat's an acquaintance of mine.
Yeah, I mean, if we're not friends at this point, I don't know what's next.
Might have to do this in the same room together.
You ever get in there with other people? Anyone else ever come in there with you?
You know what, guys?
AJ.
You know what? It's rarely ever gridlock in this tub. There's been a few times I've had a couple visitors, but I'm usually in the clear. If you know what I mean?
Nice.
There's definitely never been any other dudes in here with me. I can say that flat out. I like my own space. Let's not go. We don't need to get into
all
that
good
too
if it
much,
was,
but-
by the way.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys.
Yeah, nothing wrong with it. It's just not my thing. That's not my thing.
If somebody has 2 hours and 15 minutes to spend every single day getting a massage and then a hot
90
tub.
minutes.
After a workout and an hour on the treadmill.
PK, you might be peak male for the next, 60 years. There's nobody committing their life to their body like you are. I want to let you know that.
Why wouldn't you, if you retired at 33 years old, why wouldn't you want to be in the best shape of your life at 70? That's my goal, to be in the best shape of my life at 70.
What?
Period. End of story.
So
Why not?
How many, we could do the math, 6 days a week, so that's 52 minus 365 is what? 313 times 30,
Times 30.
47, 37.
Just make it 40 to make an even number.
313 times 40 is 12,000?
Or is it 120,000?
120,000?
Is it 120? No, it's got to be 12,000.
Take Sundays off, PK.
12,520.
Yeah.
12,000.
Sundays are off. Sundays off.
Yeah.
By the time you're 70, you're going to be through 12,000 520 massages. Atta baby. You better be in the best shape.
PK.
We're going to need you.
Still working out the rock?
No, you know what? DJ, you know what? I haven't texted him, to be honest with you. I don't even know if he has the same number. I used to have his number. With people like The Rock, they're so big. I have such an appreciation for him. Read his book. I was a big fan. Like, I just try to leave people the hell alone. You know what I mean? I got a chance to do it with him once. The guy's busy. He's got a family. The last thing he's thinking about is sculpting his guns with me. You know what I mean? He's not thinking about that.
I think he could potentially learn from you with your daily routine.
Yeah.
They talk about like Mark Wahlberg's daily routine. PK, you were getting after it with Rock. I mean, he looked at your back right there and he was like, this is what we need to do. We need to start doing
his
more.
bicep. His bicep is about the width of my back. So,
Hair looks great.
How long ago
hair
is
looks
this?
tight. This was a couple years ago, actually. This would have been I think it was like maybe 2016, 2017.
It's almost a decade ago now, PK. But you haven't aged a single bit. You know why? Because that deep breathing.
Darker the berry, sweeter the juice. That's what Tupac said.
Damn right.
So I don't know what that means. I'll let our viewers and everybody figure that out.
Well, I think what it means is I'm aging like a raisin. And I think that is kind of how it goes. You know, Usher looks like he's 21 years old.
Absurd.
Yeah. Usher looked like he was 21.
He also got married on Sunday. Did you see that?
Unbelievable performance. Unbelievable performance. I watched that show. And I'm a big Usher guy. Like Nice and Slow. It's 7 o'clock on the dot. I'm in my drop. Moves in the streets.
Yeah.
I got a real pretty little thing that's waiting for me.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Listen to me. I was all in on Usher in the performance. We got to give him props. This guy, during my time of growing up, and I knew about him. I had older sisters that listened to him. I shared a bathroom with my sisters till I was 16, so I know all the songs.
Okay.
I love Usher. I just think he's one of the most talented artists ever. But I love the show. I think people are being haters. I thought it was a great show. Awesome.
People hate on everything these days. I don't know how you can hate on this man, though. Just wrapped up a 45-minute warm Epsom salt bath, which followed a 90-minute massage, which followed boxing, cardio, and a lift. Now he's starting his day. Ladies and gentlemen, PK Subban, you're the man.
Yeah, PK.
Everybody, PK.
He's awesome.
What a schedule.
Brings it every time.
That's wild.
He does bring it every time.
Every single time I've seen him on TV, he brings it. You know why? He's getting a massage every day.
Nice. His body's feeling
90
great.
minutes or two, 90 minutes. It's tough to sit still that long sometimes.
Well, definitely. My wife and I will get like couples massages, get like 2-3 a year, maybe.
Yeah.
Every time I do it, I'm like, oh, this is a vacation.
The best.
This is meditation.
Yeah,
This
absolute
is
best.
relaxing. This is really. He's doing that every single day of his life. I couldn't even. There's no wonder PK is happy.
Maybe that's the answer. Yeah, maybe that's what we should all be doing.
Yes.
I don't ever get massages. I always think about, man, it'd feel great to get a massage, and then I just never do it.
Yeah, well, because you can't. How do you even go about it?
Well, they were the thing.
Well, you got to book 6 a week for the next 20 years to get that on the books. I think that's the only way it could work.
And he has like a masseuse, and it's not our fault. Massages were out for a little, and it feels like they're all the way back. Maybe we do think about
they were
why were they out?
Getting our bodies in tip top.
They were out.
Massage been around
I think we all know why they were out. Okay, gentlemen, I don't have to bring that
Massage
up.
therapists have been a weapon for professional athletes. There was never a time where they were out.
I mean, they were out for one person.
They go real loud because of one.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, I don't think anybody was screaming, hey, I'm going to see my massage therapist for the 6th time this week, okay? And I think that was the first time I've ever experienced that with PK. And now here we are where we could possibly jump into that pool.
What do you want? Just set up in a room?
Yeah, we don't have to build a kitchen. We don't
know how. We can't.
We can't do that. We can't do what we were gonna do. So maybe we don't have to set up a room.
Do you remember we did a full chef search? All right, we're gonna pay $100,000 to a chef.
Yep.
All you gotta do is just obviously we need breakfast and then we need post-show snack. And then you're good. That's the job. Don't need you on camera. Don't need a personality. Just need you to be able to fit in with the group and be able to cook well. So pumped. I was so excited.
Many applicants.
We did it. We're going to have a fucking chef in here.
Yeah.
Then we learned so many different codes, and we cannot build a kitchen in here.
No, not
in
allowed.
theory. Great idea.
Great idea. I just said, we'll fucking turn one of the rooms into a kitchen. What do we need? We'll get the chef, and then the chef will tell us everything they need. Then we'll make the actual kitchen for the chef. That's a double win. They're like, well, you can't actually. No, not even allowed here. No, not allowed.
Couldn't you do it? Just don't pull a permit and do it.
Well, you'd have to
stop you. Yeah, we got. The block is hot on this particular program.
Oh, I forgot about old buddy when you. Yeah,
Smothers.
what's his name?
Yeah.
Smothers.
Yeah. So
he's on the lookout. You're right.
We would have to get like a food truck, I think, operation outside, and then is that even worth it in the winter? I mean, it's a whole. So we would like to apologize to all the chefs that submitted an app. There was a lot of really good chefs.
So many.
And we were so excited for it. But
yes.
That's one of those things where we don't think it through, and then we make an announcement.
No, usually you just say, hey, we want this. And typically it works out. In this situation, yeah.
Normally you put it out in the universe, it's like, all right, now we got to do it. Like shows, people in here.
Exactly.
That's going to have to happen. Who's putting that together?
We'll cross that bridge when we get there. We could put an addition on.
AJ, you putting that together? Or you want to pull permits and build a construction? You want to do more construction?
No, I'm just saying, look, we could build a little shed.
Inviting people in here was a good idea.
Yeah, but we created the place. I don't want to say I'm an architect or an engineer, but I was a part of building the place. We created the place so that we could,
Play
keep.
basketball.
It's one of the reasons.
Definitely. But look at all the doors there. Look at all the doors. You can make this like people come and you can make them like go see rooms and stuff while also having some privacy, not worry about anything getting stolen out of here. I mean, there's a way to set this. It was designed to host.
Yes.
Never done it though.
No. Well, not yet.
Chef never going to be able to do it.
We'll see again. We can
Massage therapist though. I'm sure there'll be a way for us to figure that out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think we can do that one.
Got a barber once a week.
Yeah.
JC's a weapon.
He is.
You've been getting your haircut from him again.
Yeah, he cut my hair last week.
Nice. All right. He's back.
Connor and the barber had a little bit of a tiff when the barber decided to cut 3 inches off of Connor's mullet without telling him.
Almost back to the length it was. Almost. Probably about a month, 2-3 months left.
Connor wouldn't even look at this guy. He came in once a week. Connor wouldn't
That's
even look
not
at
true. That's not true. Every morning, what's up? Good morning. Good to see you. That again, don't have a qualm with the human at all.
The decision, though.
The decision, I have a problem with.
He's great.
Great.
The best.
Best fade in the game.
He's great
Really
at what he
is.
does.
He is.
Relationships with barbers are always interesting.
Yeah.
And it's different, obviously, because he comes here. But you ever go to a barber shop and you've been using one for a while, and then you finally maybe move on to another chair?
You can't do that.
That's awkward.
Yeah, well, we're currently.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can, Tony.
Don't have to sometimes.
Not in my world.
Yeah, well, you have to sometimes. You have to. We had a few barbers before we landed on old back porch barber.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He shows up.
Plenty of them.
That guy Bill brought in was sweet.
Everybody like showed up with like 2 guns.
Doesn't
You
sound
remember
like
that?
you were serious.
Everybody, well, Gumps, it's hard. I mean, with the way he speaks, we don't know what's real and
That
isn't.
guy was.
We
That guy
just
was
assume
at
everything's
Slap. I
wrong.
actually saw that guy at Slap.
Yeah, he was there actually. Now that you
He said
mentioned
used to
it.
just come in with like 3 guns on him. Yep. Like to cut our hair. Like, all right, you're safe, dude, but are we? Let's get to a break.
There's a guy in Orlando, I believe, when we were staying. You were doing something with NXT.
Kanu.
I was sitting outside for a while.
I
Zeke
wish.
got like a 2.5 hour haircut one night from somebody.
Who was that?
Oh, I
years
remember
ago.
that guy. Yeah, that was at the.
Was he a WWE barber?
Oh, did you get that? You get that
Josh.
stuff? in
Yeah,
your
there
hair,
it is.
Zeke?
Boom. Wow, good pull.
Oh, the lineup.
Yeah, he
one.
gave me the Carl's Boozer.
Oh, that's
Hell
awesome.
yeah.
All right, let's get to a break. We'll be back tomorrow. Big one tomorrow.
Huge.
Adam Silver's going to be right here.
Yeah, let's
Oh,
go.
yeah.
Right there.
Right here.
In Stu.
I think he's tall.
He is very tall.
I think so too. I'm excited to see his reactions just to us.
Is he going to windmill?
I think he's like 6'6". He could dunk in here.
He
Can
averaged
he-
26 a game in college.
That's how he became the commissioner of the NBA, obviously. That's what the internet always says about Adam Silver. They say this guy really knows ball.
Yeah, he played a guy for it.
That's the reaction on the internet when last time Adam Silver came on. A lot of people say this guy doesn't even know basketball. It's like, I think he's done pretty good with the league.
The way to
He's doing a
become the
great
commissioner is you have to beat the other commissioner in one-on-one basketball. You had to beat David Stern one-on-one.
Oh.
You think Roger Goodell's going to challenge him one day? Just be like, I want to be the commissioner of the NFL and the NBA.
Let's go ball. Check ball, bitch.
I can't wait for that. Obviously, NBA All-Stars happening in Indianapolis this weekend, so I think as the week continues, we'll have some more NBA guys stopping by, potentially. Let's
go.
No, there's been a lot of, like, floated names.
It'll be fun.
Could potentially stop by. Then the Combine's in a few weeks in Indianapolis. This is a city to be in.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
The next few weeks.
Always
Lucky to
is.
be here. All right, we'll be back tomorrow with another program that is hopefully above average. We can't thank you enough for allowing us to do this for a living. Great work today, AJ.
My boy Hawker.
Baby, AJ.
Hey, great work, Gumpy.
Good work, Gump.
Baby,
Hey,
AJ.
Goop.
Way to go, D-Boy, filling in for
Baby D-Boy.
Ty.
Great work, great work, brother.
All right, everybody in the back, great work today. We'll be back tomorrow. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change your life. We're in this thing together. Hey, team on me. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Team.
Goodbye.